Goddamn.
Man, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NHP. Welcome back to another edition of the news. So, this is episode 256 of the news, man, and thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on your Friday, March 7th, 2 days out from Revolution, man. 2 days out from Revolution. So, how's everybody doing here today on this fine Friday evening? And, man, are these journalists just deciding to fuck me over today?
I'm telling you.
So, usually we always get our, tidy little thumbnail ready to go the night before. And today, we just decided to get dropped a whole bunch of fucking news on us. Thankfully, the thumbnail pertains to actually some of it. So that's good. But nonetheless, man, how's everybody doing here today? How are you guys enjoying your Friday so far? And thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of the news, man. So, man, yes, like I said, got a lot of stuff to get into today. But before we get into all that, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another edition of the news. If this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we are on here after Monday Night Raw with NHP Unscripted. Every Friday at 4 p.m. Central with the news and the pay-per-views and PLEs for both WWE and AEW directly after the show goes off the air. If you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, WWE doubling down on unpredictability for WrestleMania. We talked about just the unpredictable nature on what we possibly could be seeing. We're going to be talking about more of that here today, as you can see in the thumbnail. But talked about a bunch of that good stuff following Io Sky's Shock World Championship victory on Raw, as well as the Elimination Chamber review. If you guys did miss that, that is also available with unscripted for you guys on all platforms. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live every Monday after Monday Night Raw for NHP Unscripted, man. Also, if you guys haven't got a chance to pick up some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on the merch shop. That is bonfire.com. Links at the top of the description of this very video, man, where you can get this beautiful remastered, redesigned, refreshed version of the NHP Next Chapter design using the link below. That is, again, bonfire.com. And with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How the hell are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling, man. Everything's been normal. Just waiting, for Sunday with Revolution, and then after
You
Sunday,
are.
next pay-per-view. I guess mainly just to get it out the way, because after Sunday, next pay-per-view we got is Mania, man, and I'm very excited for that. But I'm doing good, man. Doing real good because yesterday we hit over 500 subscribers, man. So thank you guys to who like, comment, subscribes, watches us live in the replay. Thank you guys so much. Massive milestone for us, and thank you guys. Um, Another shout out back on Tuesday. I forgot to do it that day, but I thought I saw it that day. Happy birthday, Gotti. I didn't get to text you. I thought I saw that night, and after I woke up, memory just completely wipes half the time knowing me. Happy birthday, and and back to the normal intro. Like Durante always asks, how's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? How's everyone doing watching the replay? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
I am doing good, bro. I am doing good. Excited for the review on
Yeah.
Sunday. I'm excited for the review. I'm excited to get on here talk some AEW with you guys for about 2 or 3 hours or however long the night brings us. But excited for that. I'm excited for that, man. Yes. So I texted my guy on back on Tuesday, but just as to piggyback off what Sir K said, man, my man Gotti, happy birthday, brother, happy belated birthday now. But his birthday was this past Tuesday, man, and we just had to give you a little shout out here today, as we do,
Always.
for all of you guys, man. So, you guys mean a lot to us, and we appreciate you guys. You guys are our wrestling family, if you will, man. So, thank you guys so much for all the support you give, to us, and in this case, Gotti, man. Thank you, bro, for all the support you give to us, and thank you for being here, talking wrestling, calling Roman Reigns Pookie and always fucking making me laugh. We love you, bro. We love you. You know we're always here for you, man. So happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed your birthday. You're in chat, so you're still alive. You made it through. But
You did?
I hope you enjoyed your night, man, and I hope you got everything you wish for, man. But
I hope so.
fucking Belle, she's putting us on a goddamn laptop now, dude. Can you fucking believe
Wow.
this?
Wow. That's crazy. I
Looks
thought
like
we were a priority.
Yeah, I thought we were too. I thought we fucking were too. But apparently not to Belle, because she's putting us on a laptop. Can you guys believe that? Let's just go ahead and cancel Belle once and for all, please. I've had enough of this I've had enough of this rigmarole for the past couple of years, man. But regardless, my man Hunter, what up,
How you
bro?
doing?
Hello. Hello, man. Thank you for being here. As always, man, uh just real quick. I don't wanna talk about it too much. But like Sir K said, we hit 500. Happy, bro. Happy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's super happy, bro. Super happy, man. Uh not I'm I don't know how do I word this. I'm happy, man. I'm happy, but the work continues, and we're gonna continue to pump out work that makes you guys happy, gives you guys a space to come here and talk wrestling. That's what's most important to me, man. Um, I never want to look at things too much from a number perspective, because I appreciate just the community that we have so much, but it is a huge thing. It's a huge thing, bro. It's been 9 years that I've had this channel. 4 years, coming up, well, actually in a month it's going to be 5 years we've been doing NHP, which is just fucking wild. But man, just thank you guys so much. I'm so proud of the community that we built here. And again, I'm more focused and locked in than ever. I'm just trying to make this a space that we can all enjoy, man. We can all enjoy, and I'm just so thankful for just having a platform. And you guys can use it. Maybe some of you guys use us as an escape, and that to me matters. That to me means the most. So obviously you guys see it through everything we try to do, man, and we try to just give back to you guys as much as possible, man. But I truly love this. I'm truly passionate about this, and I'm happy we hit 500, but the work doesn't fucking stop. The job is not
Nope.
finished, and let's fucking go. We're just gonna keep
Exactly.
let's just let this snowball and snowball and snowball into bigger and better things, man. So thank you guys so
Oh,
much,
100%.
and I'm pumped, bro. Thank you guys, truly. Thank you guys for the support. It means a lot, man. We were at a point, man, where the middle of last year, the passion never goes away, but it sure as hell gets frustrating when things do feel stagnant.
Oh,
And
100%.
and it gets really frustrating because you know how much work you put into what you do. And um things, even though we were putting out really good reviews, I think that was the frustrating part. I felt we were
It
putting
was
out really good
crazy.
stuff, yes, and having
Mhm.
really good discussion, and things felt stagnant. um we decided to switch a lot up, man. Obviously the logos and the activity on social media. Obviously you guys see all the clips now and stuff. We ramped that all up, man. And the work you put in pays off. And it's not that we weren't putting in work before, man, but it had to be ramped up. And it was time to lock in more than ever, in my opinion. And to see just that stuff through little things like milestone numbers of subscribers or stuff is just um again, it to me it's just a number. To me it's about the community, man. I just care so much about
100%.
the community more so rather than the number. But I'm just so glad. Just so fucking proud of the community we built, man. I can't stress that enough, man. But it is a milestone number nonetheless. And you got to be appreciative of that too. And the journey to get here, bro, it's been wild. And
Crazy.
there's been ups, there's been fucking downs, bro. There's been downs. There's been
Mhm.
stagnant periods. But I'm just so proud we stuck through all this together and as a community, bro. And we still are doing our thing, man. So thank you guys so very much, bro, from the bottom of my heart. I always say I don't have a lot to say, and then I fucking have a lot to say. I don't fucking understand me sometimes.
Yes,
Okay,
man.
Rick fucking Gardless, dude. Bell's trying every fucking time I look at it in chat, Bell's on some different kind of bullshit. Now she's saying she's gonna go heel John Cena on us. What is Bell? What happened? I looked
She
away
said
from
she's
chat
not
for
even
like 2 minutes.
she said she's not even choosing heel John Cena over this Charles guy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. So, that's crazy.
Oh, I completely read that wrong. I thought she said she was pulling a heel John Cena on us. Never fucking mind. Uh That is crazy. Damian Priest. I would choose Damian Priest over Charles. I don't even know who the fuck Charles is, but I would certainly fucking choose Charles over Damian Priest. So I get that. John Cena and Roman Reigns, I don't get. My
No, I don't
bad,
understand
Bell.
that.
My bad. I seen heel. Listen, my life has changed. Every time I see the words heel John Cena, I just think of that fucking face, and it traumatizes me, man. That face when
It
he hugged The
traumatized me.
Rock, and I seen that face, and good lord, did 10-year-old fucking Johnny's heart just break into a million pieces. Um I was thinking, okay, since it's on the topic, really quick, I was thinking about that the other day, dude. What the fuck would my 9, 10, 11-year-old reaction
Oh.
would have been to that? I mean, when I tell you guys, John Cena, I was watching a video, bro, and the guy that was making the video was saying, like, bro, as there were kids where
Mm-hmm.
John Cena was, for a lot of kids, like a father figure.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, um John, obviously my pops was around, so I always had my pops as a father figure. But there were fucking certainly times growing up, bro. That man was definitely my fucking father figure. Let's just say that. Let's not get
Mm-hmm.
into specifics of all that, but there were fucking definitely times, dude. And I think if that would have happened when I was a kid, I
Oh.
probably would have started a fucking emo phase, dude. I probably would have fucking turned out like Darby Allin. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck would happen, bro.
This
I don't.
man would have been sitting here with the emo cut, fucking
I
some
probably
eyeliner, some shit.
I probably would be sitting before you guys with some eyeliner and just the long, the not even the Bieber cut, but the long one that
Like,
goes way
it's like
down in
right.
front. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Oh
The
god.
fucking Jimmy Butler. I don't know what I don't know what the fuck I would have done, dude. I don't know what I would have done. But let's thank God that this didn't happen when I was a youngin, because
That's good.
I would have been broken into 1,000 pieces. I probably would have turned out as emo or something. I don't know, man.
I would have been emo.
But anyways, speaking of John Cena's heel turn, choosing the Roman Reigns heel turn. Okay, the initial heel turn, he buried the Fiend. I was a little upset, but the John Cena heel
That's
turn,
fine.
choosing that over anything, man. Holy
Oh
shit, man!
wow.
That's got to be up there for one of my favorite wrestling moments of all time. I was text
Oh
so
yeah, easy.
100%, dude. I was texting Bell about it like the day after it happened, but like, dude, that was the most pure reaction I probably had to anything. Where I like WWE aimed for something and got exactly what they were aiming for, because. And I'm sure there were some people that were stoked as soon as John Cena turned heel. Majority of us were genuinely distraught and
Uh,
heartbroken, and
yeah.
shocked, and that is exactly what they went for, and that was what they got. And goddamn, that was epic, man. That was epic. But anyways,
Really was epic.
speaking of John Cena's heel turn, Fightful Select provided some insight on what went into the John Cena heel turn, as they reported that WWE went to great lengths to keep John Cena's heel turn on Cody Rhodes in partnership with The Rock at the Elimination Chamber a secret. The company ended up protecting the angle well, as it came as a shock to many within the WWE.
Look at that.
This is obviously I mean, that's obviously great news, man. Obviously, of all things, Now there were, rumblings and reports that, the John Cena or Cody Rhodes may be turning heel come Elimination Chamber. There was obviously reports on, there were reports on just speculation around what might happen, man. But for the most part, things like and obviously you can't blame WWE, dude. Things like that, obviously you don't want getting out. That is a
No.
generational moment right there, and obviously you don't want that as a worst kept secret. You want that to actually shock the shit out of people. And like I just said, I you know and it was one of the it's such a crazy experience, dude, because it's like you're watching this moment, right, and you're saying to yourself, oh my god, they actually might turn John Cena heel. But it doesn't hit you until
No.
you see that
Yeah.
fucking face. I'm telling you, dude, that face that he was looking at The Rock with, and it just it I could feel my childhood just melting in my soul, dude. It was fucked up, man. But But no, they did a great job, and I commend them, man, for keeping it as secret as they did. Because obviously it turned out great, and it's a moment that um either way would have been shocking and heartbreaking, but it just adds even more that it actually was kept a secret. So gotta commend
Mhm.
WWE for that. I love when things like this go to plan and you don't have all these, dirt sheet, journalists, making people fucking pay $20 to give away the moment of the moment of the decade. But um because a lot of times that's what happens, bro, which
Mhm.
that's one thing I vehemently stay away from. Whenever Royal Rumble season comes up and we hear, oh, this guy was spotted. Why are you talking about that, bro? I hate when I see stuff like that because I'm like, well, fuck, I wanted to see, such and such as a surprise, and now I know he's gonna be there. But no, I'm glad that this went to plan, man.
Most definitely. I'm very glad it went to plan. I'm glad nothing got out, and I'm glad they kept it within the circle, told the circle, and that was it. They didn't even could tell the commentators, which makes moments like that always even better, dude. I think that's the right move. Something, I think everyone should do more, within the business. I think it would just make a much better product, more shocking, more just engaging product if you kept as much a secret as you could overall. Um, and I love that they kept it a secret. I'm glad that they were able to be successful with that. I'm glad none of that got spoiled. Like you mentioned, there was the rumors, oh, someone's gonna turn heel because most people assumed that after the whole Rock segment and whatnot. But I mean, who would have actually believed it would have been Cena? You know what I mean? It was one of those things where you're like, yeah, it could be Cena, but it's not. And it was, and that's just what made the moment so perfect. So I'm really glad they were able to keep it a secret.
For sure, man, for sure, and again, like I said, man, it was 1,000% one of those moments where if you would have told me like, "Hey, John Cena's turning heel," I would have still questioned you, like, I don't know about that. It's fucking John Cena, and they did it, so it made the moment that much better. So the Wrestling Observer newsletter provided a little more insight as well on what was supposed to happen, or when this John Cena heel turn was supposed to happen. So he goes on. They go on to say that John Cena's heel turn was reportedly originally planned to happen at WrestleMania, but it was decided on the day to do it at the Elimination Chamber. So I Okay, so first of all, I want to laugh at all the people that laughed at me and my I uploaded a short that was talking about how nothing is gonna happen in the at Elimination Chamber. Whatever happens is gonna happen in the main event of WrestleMania. I was laughed at. I laugh back now because apparently it was originally supposed to happen in the main event of WrestleMania. Nonetheless, I am happy they did it at the chamber. I will say though, I wonder if it stems from people complaining about a lackluster
Mania build.
road to WrestleMania.
It could be. It could definitely be. That's I don't know how much I believed, the fruition of the story. I feel like maybe in the original draft plans, they sketched up for the story it might have been at WrestleMania, but I really don't know if I believe that it was changed on the spot to be Elimination Chamber. I feel like that moment would have been, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know if I believe it. It's also from the Observer, but if
Yes,
it's true,
figured.
that's crazy. If it's true, that's crazy, and that's good that they made that, quick decision, made it everything 10 times better. But I don't know how much I believe it. I could definitely see it being the original, like, just drafted up plans to be a Mania, but I feel like, the circle that knew this was gonna happen, knew it was gonna happen at Chamber. So there's that with that. I don't know how much I believe it, but genuinely a great decision if that's true.
Yeah, I could see there being a little validity to this, man. You know WWE well, WWE is always more so going to do things on pay-per-view, but I could see them wanting to save the magnitude of the John Cena heel turn for WrestleMania, because I'm I'm assuming, they thought it was going to be a huge moment, which it was. And they were like, oh, maybe we should save this for WrestleMania. But then as they got to thinking about it, they were probably like, wait, are we just going to end the show with Cody saying no and then he walks away, or The Rock just solo beats him up? So it made the most sense, and I could see that being the case too. I could see WWE more so just going with what made the most sense, because again, what are you gonna do? Just have Cody say no in the middle of the show or at the end of the show and then just walk off? So like,
Mhm.
what sense would that make, really? So I think overall, man, I think overall they made the right choice, and they gave it more time to sit in the pot. You know what I mean? And also, I also think they did pivot because and again, if this is true, I think one of the main reasons they pivoted is for the reason that one of the first things Triple H said when he sat down in that media scrum after the show was, "Does it feel like WrestleMania season now?" So he heard the chatter of, "Oh, this WrestleMania season's boring," or this doesn't feel like WrestleMania season, and he wanted to kick it up a notch. So I could absolutely see this being the case, and it is a very WWE thing to do, to save a heel turn of this magnitude for a show like WrestleMania. And it also is a Triple H thing to do, to pivot sometimes. So
Mhm.
I believe this one, actually.
I believe aspects. I really don't believe the day of stuff. I really don't see that. But
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
but I definitely think it was the overall, like I said, first draft plans was to do it at Mania. But I think with the Mania build they were building, they realized it's much better to build the heel turn to Mania. But I definitely don't believe the day of aspect of it.
Yeah, if you call that day of, I
Imagine you just walk in, you're Cena, and Triple H just walks out. You're doing it now. We're doing it today. Just what?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this crazy work. Yeah.
So another story from the Observer: Cody Rhodes, The Rock legitimately push for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. Dave Meltzer has reported in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the art imitated life to some extent, as The Rock, when he decided to be a part of the build of WrestleMania 41, wanted Cody Rhodes to turn heel and align with him. The Rock, or Rhodes, was offered the opportunity to turn heel, and he turned down the idea. People within WWE also believed Rhodes turning heel would have harmed the company, as they feel current fans within WWE are Cody's crowd. After Rhodes turned down the angle, the heel turn was offered to John Cena, and he accepted. This resulted in Cena turning on Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber and aligning with The Rock, ending a 22-year run as a babyface for John Cena. The original plan for John Cena was for him to turn heel at WrestleMania during the finish of the WWE title match with Cody Rhodes, similar to Steve Austin at WrestleMania 17. Um, the decision was ultimately made to do the heel turn at Elimination Chamber. I know you definitely have some feelings about this, man. So, how are you feeling about Dave Meltzer reporting that The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes to go heel?
I definitely believe aspects of the story. I could definitely just see Rock doing that, offering Cody the heel spot and whatnot. And I feel like that, is something he just offered, Cody for the general story is, Cody, being the one to turn heel. I could definitely see that. But a lot of these still kind of conflict with the reports we had, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of last week after with the aftermath that this was the plan the whole time, and now we're getting news that it wasn't the plan. This is all like on a whim. So it's just the annoyance of like conflicting reports. This is from Meltzer again. That's just an aspect you got to throw in there. The so there's that aspect, but I could definitely see Rock offering Cody to turn heel and Cody turning it down. I don't like the aspect of WWE not wanting that because I mean at the end of the day, I'm already gonna start to use it. I'm already happy to get to use it. You turn John Cena heel, you can turn anybody heel. I hate that aspect of, oh, he has a bunch of fans and the crowd loves him. You can't turn him heel. I hate that. I think that's one of the stupidest mentalities you could have. And I think eventually with Cody, you're going to have to. I think it's kind of written in the stars for his character to eventually turn heel. And please don't John Cena it where you do it in his fucking last year. Um, but overall, I could definitely see aspects of the story being true, The Rock offering and whatnot. And in a way, I could see WWE not wanting to turn Cody heel yet because, oh man, the crowd loves him, and it's fucking you turn John Cena heel instead. It's kind of redundant of a mentality to have, but that's just me, man. But overall, I think I believe aspects with these Meltzer stories right now that the two we're talking about that just dropped. I'm suspect because it's just such a contradictory to what we had, last week and, what our understanding of this was. So I feel like elements of this shit can be true, definitely, especially, with the reaction to the Mania build. I feel like some stuff got moved around and jumbled, but I think overall, this was overall the plan for WrestleMania that they had. I think maybe they might have boosted some stuff up and moved it, more towards the build of WrestleMania than the aftermath of WrestleMania. But these Dave Meltzer stories, I think there's definitely truths in there, but to me, these Dave Meltzer stories feels like a true story that was told to somebody that when it got to Dave Meltzer, it was like when you tell somebody a story, that person tells it, and it's like a skewed version of it, where
Hmm.
it's overall the right thing, but it's just weird details that aren't true and shit. I feel like this is what these two Dave Meltzer stories are. I think there's definitely very truthful aspects in it. There's just a bunch of random nonsense in it, where it's just someone just yapping, and just making stuff up. So I definitely see aspects of it being true, but I don't know because it contradicts with the past stories so much. I think within the next week or two we'll probably get a story which either confirms which story is true or muddies it less a little bit if that makes sense. But it's just a little muddy right now to me. But what about you? What do you think about all this?
So the thing, the thing is about, Meltzer saying that, all this stuff is last minute. Meltzer is not talking to, okay, think about who's feeding Meltzer this information. It's not The
Exactly.
Rock, it's not
No.
Triple H, it's not
It's
Nick
not.
Khan, it's not Cody Rhodes. So overall, of course the shit feels like last minute because I'm sure the people who Meltzer is getting his information from just found out about it because of how
Exactly.
close they keep it to the chest. So maybe for people in the back, oh my god, this is last minute and holy fuck, Cody's gonna go heel, John Cena's turning the main event, blah blah blah. Of course it's gonna be last minute to these people, but it's not last minute to Triple H, not last minute to The Rock, not last minute to Cody Rhodes, not last minute to John Cena, because I'm sure these guys obviously aren't running to Meltzer, telling that Meltzer the fucking plans
No.
for WrestleMania. It's probably just, again, just random creative bodies backstage that are, you know
Oh,
in that are in the know, but they're kind of like the last people to know, and then they tell Meltzer like, oh my god, this is last minute and da da da. But again, The Rock and all the people that need to know about this have known about this for a while, and it's always been the
mhm.
plan. You just can't tell anybody because they don't want the shit getting out. as for this story as for this story, this is interesting. See, Cody Rhodes, man, Cody Rhodes going heel, um, obviously would have been cool, but I can't lie to you, man. Over the past 6 days, I have been sold on the idea of Cody Rhodes as the John Cena for a minute, because the longer this festers and the longer you have people turn heel on him, it's only going to make his heel turn more special. But goddamn, did they do a good job at making him the John Cena that made John Cena turn heel, because he's seen another version of himself. And I like that, if that makes sense. But obviously, eventually I want to see the Cody turn heel, man. But I think for now, with what they've done with this John Cena heel turn, this opens up a lot of cool possibilities for him to be the good guy for the next couple of years that just constantly gets fucked over. And it's only going to make that heel turn, I'm at the point, man, where I obviously I don't want to see Cody turn heel in like a year at this point. If you would have asked me this before John Cena turned heel, I probably would have told you that, man. But honestly, man, WWE are really, really selling me on the fact that he is the John Cena and the next good guy. And what we learned from John Cena's heel turn, I guess, is the longer it festers, the more it means. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying do a 22-year babyface run with Cody Rhodes. But imagine this goes on, and you have, people that he, gets close with, and they continue to turn on him. When that does happen, man, that's going to be huge. But no, man, I mean, especially the babyface Cody we've been getting lately, keep doing what you're doing. Keep planting those seeds. Keep having that rage build up in him, but keep having him keep that smile and try to put on a good face for the people. And I think you got a really, really, really interesting heel turn in the waiting in the wings for you whenever you want to do it. But yeah, keep doing what you're doing with Cody, to be honest, man. Keep having him, think he has friends, and keep having that rage build up in him to the point where when he, when basically like what he did with Kevin Owens, keep having him show glimpses of that. And keep having him be betrayed, man. And I think you got a really good story on your hands here, man. But again, not saying I don't want to see it at all, but man, with what they've done here with John Cena, man, I completely understand if you want to keep him babyface for the next 2-3 years, in my honest opinion, bro. But as for as for the crowd being Cody's crowd, obviously you can wait till they turn on him, or they're going to continue to be Cody's crowd and have him break everybody's hearts. Either way, what I'm getting at is you have a very cool, very, very cool story with what you're doing with Cody Rhodes, and I would not mind to see them continue to add depth to that. Look at how much Kevin Owens turning on Cody. Look at how much that broke his heart. You know what I mean? His, obviously long feud with the Bloodline and stuff. Roman Reigns, I'm sure, maybe couple of years down the line, Roman Reigns is going to betray his trust again. Look at the friend, the mentor he thought he had in John Cena. He kicked him in the fucking balls last Saturday and beat the shit out of him. Imagine what Randy Orton is going to do to Cody Rhodes. And I'm sure he's to make more friends down the line. And it's continue to have people break his heart, and I think either way, man, the longer you let this marinate, the cooler of a story I think you're going to have, especially if you have this rageful Cody that obviously wants to turn, but he just wants to do it for the people, and then when you do it, it's going to break everybody's hearts, and it's going to have the same effect, maybe a little bit lesser, but it's going to have an effect to the degree that Cena's heel turn had. But turning Cody heel, honestly, bro, after they turned John Cena heel, I think John turning heel was the right option, because it's going to allow Cody to chase, and it's going to allow Cody to hit rock bottom, pun intended. It's going to allow Cody's character to hit rock bottom, and I'm going to be very interested to see where his character goes with that. However, um, you know, I wouldn't have minded it, but I think Cena was the right way to go. So
Definitely, I think Cena was the right way to go. And if it wasn't Cena, I would say you do the Cody Rhodes, turn like later this year if it wasn't Cena, or
mhm.
early next year, something like that. I still think you still got some time on the shelf for babyface Cody. I think you you gotta play it careful because it could get really old and really for a character work annoying if they just keep playing the gets turned on role. That character could get to a point where you're just asking yourself, okay, why is this dude trusting anybody? It's on himself at this point, and
Mm,
you don't want to get that mentality on a character.
mhm.
So you definitely got to kind of evolve his character a little bit as a babyface. But I'd say year or two left on the babyface tank. For at least from what they gave us, things can always change. You could always gas it up. Gassing it up right now with the Cena stuff, but at the end of the day, it is John Cena, heel John Cena. Of course, that's gonna add gas in the tank. But that tank, I think, at some point is gonna get pretty empty, and you don't want to wait till you're out of gas to change the tank out. But overall, I do think Cody Rhodes as a babyface still has some time on that shelf, and I think Cena was the right decision. It's definitely right now to turn heel.
Definitely, which is why I would be okay with them milking the Orton story. Just
Yeah,
because, like you said, you don't want to get to a point where it's just like, okay, bro, what?
how do you trust anybody?
Exactly. How do you trust anybody other than him trying to be a good person? But over time, when does that just evolve into dumb babyface syndrome? Um,
Exactly.
the thing with Cody, though, there is a couple people that I think you can trust, but I don't really know if you turn them heel. Like the two that come to mind that are good friends with Cody that I could see Cody trusting because you can't really picture them turning heel is Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. But again, I don't
I
really
wouldn't.
know. I don't really know
No.
about that. Maybe I would have Cody turn on one of them, but
Yeah.
but
I think that would be where the good portrayal will come into play, is him betray somehow. It's got to end up to where one of the only people that didn't turn on him gets turned on by him. That's got to be the end
yes.
result.
That's why I was thinking like Sammy. But then again, you never know
Mm.
who's gonna be called up or
Hey,
you
who's
never know
he has
how
a connection with on TV at the time? I think
exactly.
it's gonna be at the time, kind
For
of
sure.
character.
For sure. For sure. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. And they have a lot of good possibilities, man. But man, Cody Rhodes, I think is gonna come off. He came off very cool in that guy. I that was probably the most I fucked with Cody Rhodes since he's been in WWE in that Owens feud. He just looks
I would
so
say.
he looks so cool. And if you continue to add that level of coolness to his character, man, you're obviously gonna have a longer shelf life with that. But I think the beauty in Cody's run, man, is people around him trying to warn him about things. Like for example, Randy Orton, you can have people warn him, hey, that he's a snake, bro. Don't, I know
Mhm.
that's your boy, but, and Cody genuinely believes in his heart, and that's up to WWE to sell it to us that Cody genuinely believes in his heart that this is his brother, and there's no fucking way Randy Orton would turn on Cody Rhodes, and then he turns on him, and then obviously
Mhm.
there's the heartbreak in that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They got a lot of interesting possibilities, bro. They got a lot of interesting possibilities. Um, but um, Bell says we're setting ourselves up. She says Cody, this Cody thing ends with Cena passing the torch to Cody at the end of the year
Well,
as
most
a
definitely.
as a. I'm assuming you're talking about as a baby face. But yeah, I see that. That's why I'm saying. That's why I say you should milk the Orton story because that's one of the true stories that can really shake Cody to
Helped
his
him.
core. Um,
Mhm.
and as far as um, and as far as what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's why I say you probably have a little more gas in the tank than I would have originally anticipated. But
Yeah.
how I mean, dude, you watch that heel
You,
turn, bro. How fucking awesome did Cody Rhodes look as a babyface getting his ass whipped by John Cena? I mean, come on, bro.
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, come on, man. And the guy to go against the heel John Cena, that's gonna be pretty fucking epic. And the guy to fall to heel John Cena, it's gonna be pretty fucking epic, man. That's gonna be
Mhm.
pretty epic. And even in losing fashion, I think Cody's gonna look fucking phenomenal as a
I think
babyface.
he's gonna
So,
look great. Exactly.
so, so. Speaking of Mr. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes was injured at the Elimination Chamber. Let's see here. Cody Rhodes was injured at the Elimination Chamber, according to Dave Meltzer of The Observer. He reported that Cody Rhodes is dealing with multiple injuries following the chamber, and they were reportedly caused by Travis Scott. Dave Meltzer reported that Cody Rhodes is suffering from a black eye and a busted eardrum. He said, Cody got hurt. I'm pretty sure it was Travis Scott that did it. I heard he had a busted eardrum and a black eye. Meltzer said Travis Scott was involved in the post-main event angle at Elimination Chamber, which saw John Cena alongside The Rock become a heel for the first time since 2003. Uh, man, so I get Travis Scott was amped up, and I get, I also get he's a celebrity, but that's my other point here is nobody. Okay, so there's been reports saying that Travis Scott is learning how to wrestle. What are you doing in wrestling training? Because don't tell me you're just fucking slapping the fuck out of people. Now again, to slap him on his cheek across his face is one thing. Why would you smack the side of his fucking head by his eardrum? And this is why you don't have fucking people in the ring just because they're The Rock's friend and you just want to have them there because you're The Rock and you can fucking do what you want. I mean, really? I mean, again, it's not a crazy injury, but dude, and I'm sure the slap isn't the only thing that may have caused some commotion on Cody Rhodes' face, being that those belt shots he took, those were some brutal belt shots, bro. I mean, you could hear them. You could literally hear Cody Rhodes' head dunk off the title. So, no, I mean, it's to me, this is just a thing. It's just like, dude, you got to, again, did nobody tell him, like, hey, man, don't, cock your
Slap.
arm all the way back and slap the fuck out of his ear? I mean, again,
Mhm.
not a crazy serious injury, but I mean, bro, shit like that is just so easily avoidable, man. For me,
Most definitely. And Bell mentions in the comments that, Cody talked to Conrad and was talking about, he was trying to kind of, debunk it or, tone it down. And I just see that as Cody just trying to play damage control and not make it look as bad as it is. That's just something Cody would do. And I think that's the case here. And with Travis Scott, that's just not something. Why was he there? Again, I get it. You want the celebrity there, and he's The Rock's friend. But at the end of the day, I don't care how much someone wants to be there. I don't care how much someone is excited.
I
If you
wanted
don't
to be in
belong
the
there,
ring.
exactly. But if you don't belong there, you don't belong there. That's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, like I said, it's not the worst injury in the world, man. But to what you said, Sir K, I don't, I agree with you there. I really don't see Cody Rhodes as a guy to go out there and say, yeah,
Oh,
he injured he's
asshole.
unsafe. He injured me. Cody, I guarantee you, Cody, even though he has a busted eardrum, thought it was sick as fuck, and it made the moment,
Mhm.
even better or whatever. Probably that's probably what was going through Cody's mind. It's just the pride of a wrestler. Um, but at the end of the day, man, easily avoidable stuff, man. And I don't know if he's got a receipt coming. Man. But again, just really, it was.
Yeah.
First of all, it was one of those things, man, where it's like Travis was tasked with holding Cody's arms down, and Cena was going to hold his legs down while The Rock whipped him with the Cody Soul Weight Belt. All of a sudden, he lifts Cody's head up, and Cena, you could see even Cena might have been a little annoyed because he put Cody back down on the mat. Like, what are you doing? And then as soon as Cody
Mhm.
went back down on the mat, this dude decided to wind his hand all the way back and completely smack him in the side of his fucking head. And again, it's one thing if you smack him across the face, right? We've seen a lot of
Yeah.
brutal snaps. 9 times out of 10, it's not really going to do anything other than, make your cheek red. But, I mean, come on, dude. His fucking eardrum, bro. I mean, that's just, it's easily avoidable. And again, if Cena put the dude back on the fucking ground and you missed your shot to slap him, you missed your shot, bro. Hold his arms down, which he could barely fucking do that. I mean, come on. Again, this is why we don't have people in the ring, because they're the fucking Rock's friend.
Mhm.
Plain and simple. You sing the theme song for Monday Night Raw, and that's about it, bro. I'm sorry. Um, I don't know. But regardless, if he does start to wrestle, I'm sure he's got quite the receipt coming. Um, from Cody Rhodes. So, more John Cena news. John Cena. Well, actually, okay, yes. Uh, John Cena is reportedly, um, he is announced and confirmed for 3 dates on WWE's European tour, and this is interesting to me. And obviously he could still show up on shows he's not necessarily advertised for, but WWE has officially announced, and this was announced a while ago, about a month ago. They've announced the TV dates that John Cena will be appearing on the European tour next month, as he will be appearing at the March 17th, the St. Patrick's Day show in Brussels, Belgium. He will be appearing on Monday Night Raw on March 24th in Glasgow, Scotland. And he will be appearing on March 31st in London, England. Very interesting. But why is he on Raw? I am very interested to see why that is, because his opponent is on SmackDown. Unless they move Cody over to Monday Night Raw and just kind of, WWE did it a lot in the build to WrestleMania last year. They kind of just winged it
Mhm.
in terms of, oh, we're just going to put
Well,
you on Monday Night Raw because it's the build to WrestleMania. At this point, dude, it's a soft brand split. I don't care what anybody says.
no, exactly.
Yes, it's a brand split for the lower card guys, but the main eventers kind of just go wherever at this point. Kind of, I would assume we're all kind of just used to it like that at this point. But it is very interesting to me, man, and I'm curious to know, man. What are your thoughts about this, and what are your thoughts as to why John Cena would be on Monday Night Raw, being that Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown?
Overall, I mean, at the end of the day, Raw's on Netflix. I'm sure Netflix wants John Cena. Netflix isn't afraid to ask for certain people and damn near Shaft USA
Yeah.
with getting people on their program and whatnot. So to be honest, overall, I just see that as WWE feels like that's their bigger show. They're gonna put Cena on their bigger show. That's just my mentality for that. That's overall what I see. There could be an unseen element that we don't know, to him being on Raw yet, but overall, it's Netflix. The other one's USA. They're always gonna put one, whether it was Fox or Netflix, they're always gonna put one over USA. And I think it's overall just because they can and they want to, and they just want him on Raw. And I'm sure we're gonna get the Cody and Cena related stuff on Raw and in SmackDown sparingly. But I don't think they're gonna be afraid to put anything on any show because at the end of the day they run it and they'll figure out a way to do it. Overall, I don't see too much into it. But what about you, man?
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. And you said it, Bell says it. I think too the reason that John is gonna be on Raw, and I'm sure that means Cody will follow, is because of Netflix, right? It's because that are you gonna rather have John Cena on the taped SmackDown, the taped European SmackDowns, or are you going to have John Cena on the live Monday Night Raw on Netflix? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So I could see that being the case. This does get weird though, because we got stuff regarding like CM Punk and his dates as well. We'll finish up with the John Cena stuff first, but also regarding John Cena's European dates. Is according to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, The Rock may be appearing on one of the upcoming Raw shows alongside John Cena during the WWE European tour this month. No word on which city The Rock will be appearing in between Brussels, Glasgow, or London. Man, this is gonna be good television, bro. Fuck the
Hmm.
these next couple weeks, bro. After this Monday, these next couple European Monday Night Raws, dude, God, these are going to be so good. But this is good to hear, and I'm glad that The Rock will somewhat be appearing on Raws building up to WrestleMania. It really makes me wonder if he's going to end up making the show in some capacity. I just wonder if he's going to wrestle, or I wonder if he's going to be there in some sort of managerial role. So I'm
I'm
interested.
very, I'm very interested to see what The Rock does at Mania itself. I'm very curious. I'm very curious for the build. It seems like he'll be there in sparing elements, which is good. And it just makes everything more exciting.
Yes, for sure. For sure, man. So, yeah, that is. Let me see here. Also, regarding John Cena's schedule, we just talked about his pre Mania dates, but what about his post Mania dates? Well, um, okay. WWE have now revealed that there are 3 new dates that John Cena will be working for the company, with Cena set for SmackDown appearances. John Cena is set for SmackDown appearances in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Michigan in May and June. Whether John Cena will have the undisputed WWE title over his shoulder or not remains to be seen. However, the former Doctor of Thugonomics will be in Knoxville on May 30th, Lexington on June 13th, and Grand Rapids on June 20th. Now Cena's going to SmackDown. I think we all know what that means.
Every
If he didn't win the title, there would be no other reason for him to be on SmackDown. He's winning that title, bro. He's
Oh,
winning that
100%.
title.
All his dates post his Mania title match would be the show that title exists on. Hmm. I unless there is. there's this the very small, I think like 10% chance Cody wins, and they move him to Raw post Mania. But like, what would really be the goal in any of that? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's possible, but I don't see it happening in the slightest. So I think all signs point to him having that belt around his shoulder as he's on SmackDown. I think that's what all this points to.
1,000%, 1,000%, man. But where this gets real interesting to me is there was a man who cut a promo this past Monday Night Raw, and this man is a very controversial figure in the world of wrestling, man. He goes by the name of CM Punk, and CM Punk is no longer listed as advertised for 2 Raw events in the UK. He remains a part of the pre-WrestleMania tour in general, but Punk was previously advertised for Monday Night Raw in Glasgow, Scotland on March 24th, and in London on March 31st. He's no longer listed for those events, and tweets prompting his involvement on those 2 Raw tapings have been deleted. While Punk has been pulled from those 2 shows, Punk is still advertised for the March 17th edition of Raw in Brussels, Belgium, the March 21st edition of SmackDown in Italy, Bologna, Italy, or Bologna, Italy. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually pronounced Bologna, or I don't know if they pronounce it a different way over there. But whatever. Bologna, Italy, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it, but
I am taking that risk.
yeah. And the SmackDown tapings in London, England on March 28th. Punk still looks to be a very much integral part of WWE's build to WrestleMania 41. As on Raw, we've seen him cut a furious promo, which took aim at The Rock, John Cena, and Seth Rollins before a steel cage match being set up for Raw's tapings next week in MSG. This is what throws me out of whack. But listen, Bill, is it bologna or bologna? I need to know.
I can tell you that one.
I don't fucking know, dude. At least I know in America that word is baloney.
It is baloney.
It is baloney. I don't know though. But whatever, dude. Leave me alone. So this is what throws me out of whack, because now again, WWE could be pulling advertisements to shock us, right? They could be saying, well, Punk's not going to be at this show. Then Punk shows up at the show, right? I mean, he's going to be doing the European tour with everybody anyway, so I'm sure. So I'm sure that he will be in the building regardless. But Bologna, Italy. Did I say it right now? Okay, Bell?
Belania. Oh,
Bel-
Belania. Oh, wait, we were saying
that makes that even more. That makes that even more funny. Bologna. All right.
Belania. Actually, I'm more of a turkey and salami guy than a Belania guy.
I'm sure you are. I know what kind of guy you are. Well, I won't get into that though. I still got it wrong. Belania. That's what I feel. I feel that's what I'm reading. Bologna. Bologna, Italy. I might just fucking stick to bologna, dude. I'm just gonna. I think I like bologna better. Jesus.
Talking about these people stuck at home. We're just calling it baloney. Yeah, bro, you from baloney, right? Just it's baloney over here.
Bell, you might have to send me a voice chat, bro, because I'm fucking lost at this point.
Belania. Belania.
Belania.
Melania.
Belania.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I feel like they never give accurate. I don't. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Sir K's looking it up, man. Because 9 times out of 10, I feel. Well, let's
What's
see.
he plan? Hold on.
Make sure you put the language for Italian, because I know if you put that word in English, it's gonna fucking say baloney. Sir,
No.
Sir K,
Hold on.
Sir K is doing a Google search right now. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Bologna. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Wikipedia. Please, I think they do vote. Yes, hold on. Bologna. Bologna. Okay.
Bologna. Is it Bologna?
Bologna. That's what Wikipedia sounds like.
Is it Bologna? I think
I
it
think
might
it's
be
Bologna.
in Bologna.
Bologna. I like it. I like it.
I think I like
Bologna.
bologna. That's not the
I like
bologna's not too
that,
far off, I guess.
that far off. We could have been worse.
It could have been worse. I could have stuck with calling it Bologna.
We could have.
Well, I hope we got it right, Bill. But anyways, back to CM Punk.
There we go. Look at
Bologna.
that.
All right.
Bologna. Right in Italy. Let's go.
Well, now we could. Well, now this fucking guy could head over to Italy. He's been wanting to head over to Italy lately. But maybe he can go hit up Bologna, Italy. Um, however, however, um, good lord, what were we? Bell's always calling me out for this shit. I'll never forget that article I was reading where I was fucking calling pounds euros. Good lord,
Oh
thank
man,
you,
I mean, man,
thank you, Bell, thank you.
they all were just mold into each other.
The little sign for pounds though is a E, so I was like, oh, that must be euros.
I
So
don't know.
thank God we have Bell around, right? Bologna,
My God, Bologna.
Bologna. All right. Well, he's okay. Well, let's fucking start this over.
Okay.
So, while Punk has been pulled for those two shows, Punk is still advertised for the March 17th edition of Raw in Brussels, Belgium, and the March 21st edition of SmackDown in Bologna, Italy.
There, look at that.
The SmackDown taping in London, England on March 28th. Punk is still set to be an integral part of WWE's build to WrestleMania 41 as he cut a furious promo on Raw, which took aim at The Rock, John Cena, and Seth Rollins before having a steel cage match against Seth Rollins set up for next week's Raw tapings in Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm.
This throws me all out of whack here because if Cena's not going to be on SmackDown, nor is The Rock, building up to WrestleMania at least, where does Punk lie in all that? Are they actually going through with the triple threat? Well, what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
I think exactly. I think this makes all the sense in the world, and I think it definitely
Okay.
easily points to that triple threat. I
Mm.
mean, like if the triple threat is true, I'm sure a certain person that mainly works SmackDown is going to interfere on that match and, piss Punk off and whatnot. And I'm sure he'll go to his show. And it's probably a thing for USA to make up for Cena being on Raw for some of this Mania build. So they get a thrown a bone and they kind of get Punk and, in a trade in a sense for at least, for who they get on TV in that time being. I think it's just Punk going over there to, confront Roman. And I'm sure Seth will probably not be too far behind him. I think it's just a trade-off of, they could definitely do that stuff on Raw, but with Raw seeming to primarily get Cena, I'm sure they want to throw USA some type of bone and give them, CM Punk, and I'm sure this to me just confirms the triple threat.
I'm sorry, dude. I thought you were talking about the triple threat between Cody, Cena.
Oh God, no, that's no more. I don't think that's happening. I think it's the obvious
Well,
Punk Roman triple threat.
that's
Punk
the
Roman
thing.
Seth.
That's the thing, though. At least I thought that Roman, they kind of quietly moved Roman over to Raw. That's why I was thinking like
No,
that's
not
why I,
really.
that's why I was thinking. Well, I mean, he hasn't been on SmackDown in the I can't even Survivor Series build. I don't think that's what. And the last time we seen Roman Reigns was January 6th on Monday Night Raw. I think that was the
Yeah,
last time he was on television.
that was a special episode of Raw, I think. Wait, when was the last? Yeah, I think that was his last TV appearance. I mean, it was a special episode of Raw at the end of the day. I still think
Damn.
technically he's on SmackDown overall, and I just see all this still happening on SmackDown.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's where I think it's, at least to me, that's what it points. I could be completely wrong, but to me, it's
I can see
pretty
that.
obvious that it
the
just points to that.
the thing that gets me though is all these stories about, we're gonna see the WrestleMania, whatever we thought the WrestleMania build is gonna completely switch. The reason I'm thinking the triple threat, or at least maybe he's gonna come to Cody's aid for The Rock and John Cena, is because the promo he cut on Monday, unless that was just an indication to shit they
I think
want to do later in the year.
even kind of Punk mentioned in that promo, like, that's not happening yet. He has other business to take care of. So
Mm,
I instantly took that as, oh, they're just setting that up for the future. I think and at the end of the day, they're talking about, oh, Mania's changed and this that. They didn't change the Drew McIntyre match they have planned. They didn't change all
mm.
the just other stuff they had planned. I think it's obvious. It points to that Seth, Punk, and Roman triple threat. I think it's as simple as that.
Well, maybe they want to do, maybe that means then they're gonna move the Cody and Cena shit to Raw and let
I think,
the
yeah,
Rollins Punk Roman play out on SmackDown.
that's what I said. Yeah, I think that's what meant by that is they're
Mm,
gonna if Netflix is getting you know heel John Cena, they're gonna throw USA some bone. So they're probably overall for the build to Mania kind of flipping where a lot of those builds are gonna happen. I think it's that simple.
all right, all right. I see that. I can see that. So it looks like they are putting CM Punk over on SmackDown for reasons that um, are to be seen, which I guess kind of points to the Rollins, Reigns, and Punk triple threat. So I guess we can all have fun with that match and where that ends up. And yeah, I could very well see them not really wanting to see John Cena. I could see them wanting John Cena to be on Monday Night Raw, but then again, they're putting him on SmackDown right after Mania, so I don't know. This is very interesting. I'm sure it'll all make sense when it comes to fruition, but um, yeah, that is the news on CM Punk being put over on
Yeah,
Friday Night SmackDown.
even on the WWE website, Roman Reigns is on SmackDown technically in the roster selection. And yeah, I don't think they actually ended up going through with moving him yet.
Hmm, interesting, very interesting. Cause yeah, damn, was the last time he was on weekly television the beginning of January? I can't think of any other time I've seen him. I genuinely can't think of any other time I fucking seen him on television other than
Mhm.
other than
I think that was
January 6th.
I think that was the last time, I believe.
I don't know. I guess bro
Yeah,
just fucking took a vacation from weekly TV. I guess bro's just
right.
only
Oh,
um let me see. Let me do a quick Google search here. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so the last time he was on SmackDown was December 13th, and the last time he was on Monday Night Raw was January 6th. Holy shit.
hey, Damn.
It
Hey,
does
man,
not even
chill.
feel that. It's been 2 months.
God damn.
And he's been on the Royal Rumble, I guess. But it looks like that's the way it's pointing, as it looks like they were pointing towards Roman being moved to Monday Night Raw, but I guess they're putting him back on SmackDown, so I guess it makes sense if they're giving him Cody and Cena, and it looks like we're going to end up getting that triple threat that I honestly don't really care to see, but
Oh,
okay.
I don't want to see that at all personally, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
They locked Drew in with fucking Damian Priest, so
Which,
guess
if
we.
you're, okay, hold on, actually, if you're putting Roman on SmackDown, why don't you just have him face fucking McIntyre? They're on the same brand. Because, because my whole logic was like, okay, they moved Drew McIntyre to SmackDown. Now, again, my whole logic, I was under the assumption that they moved Roman to Monday Night Raw. Okay. And so there, I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that match is off the table now that they moved Drew away from Raw, where Roman is.
It,
And they put
I
Roman
think
back on SmackDown and don't do the
yeah,
match.
although it's dumb on their part. Remember their mentality? He wasn't even in the fucking Elimination Chamber match because they don't want him to get pinned. The only right outcome to that Mania match would be Drew pinning Roman Reigns, and they obviously don't want that. So I think they're
So
avoiding it for that
stupid.
sole
I get
reason.
it. I see what
It's
you're
stupid
saying.
as shit. It's dumb as shit because I mean it's fucking Roman Reigns. He could take a pin, but to WWE, they don't want that match because Roman's gonna have to fucking take the pin. Yeah, it makes no sense. And now he's fucking
Oh,
stuck with
brother.
Damian Dork Priest.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah,
Well,
fucking. Not everything can be perfect in Mania builds.
yeah. Well, at least we're getting healed John Cena and Cody Rhodes, I guess.
At least
But
we get something.
CM Punk is going over to Friday Night SmackDown, and I'm sure that's
Hmm.
the reason. I'm sure that's the reason as to why. But regardless, speaking of WrestleMania, our absolutely genius journalism that we have in the wrestling community, they have found some speculation out on one of the WrestleMania matches. Per WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, the advertised Io Sky versus Bianca Belair match at WrestleMania is likely to change in the coming weeks. No way,
No
dude.
way.
Hold on. You're never gonna believe who they're gonna put in the match. Hold on. This is crazy.
I
Remember they said this WrestleMania is getting unpredictable now.
Mm-hmm.
All signs are pointing to the Mania match becoming a triple threat.
No. No.
Now, hold on. The other name
Okay.
that is, although not confirmed yet,
Yet. Okay.
is Rhea fucking Ripley, dude.
No way, dude. No way. Oh man, you got me making a fucking React YouTuber's face, man. I'm so shocked. Homie, how is this news? Like, how is this something that these people report? That's what the story on television is telling us. They, it's same thing with the reports of the likelihood of of a match for Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu is likely a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Like, no shit. That's what the fucking story is building to. How is that new? Dude, these journalists,
Yeah,
quote unquote, are
it,
something else, man.
yeah. It's like no way, man. I thought it was gonna end up being Tama Tonga versus Solo Sikoa. That's what I thought it was gonna be. Like, no shit. It's gonna be Jacob versus Solo. But look,
If
man.
that story did come out, it would be a story because it'd be like, oh, what the fuck? No, but dude, you're literally just writing a story about the expected on TV fucking built up match. It's like, what?
I,
These people make no sense, dude. It's great.
Look, man, I know this is probably the most shocking piece of news we brought to you guys so far in the first hour and a half of news, man, but believe it or not, according to WrestleVotes, Now, they could be wrong because WWE has made no mention to this at all. They have
None.
pointed no
No. No.
signs
No.
towards Rhea Ripley being added to the Bianca Belair and Io Sky match, but dude, Rhea might be added to this triple threat match, dude. And we're going to have to wait and see. I don't know if I believe this report, to be honest.
No, I don't know. This might be a Dave Meltzer report at this point. I don't know if it's believable.
Look, I don't know if I'm believing this one, but we'll just have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. But if they do it, this is going to be huge. And I don't know if they'll do it because this just seems just way outside of the box for WWE this year. But if they do it, it's going to be a banger. I'll say that.
Good Lord.
So, now that we might be getting that triple threat match, also regarding the women in WWE, there is a report going around per bodyslam.net that suggests that the WWE could be considering running Evolution 2 later in 2025. This report from bodyslam.net suggests that the event could potentially run on July 5th in Connecticut's Mohegan Sun Resort Complex. But as always, nothing is set in stone. The first Evolution took place in 2018 at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum that saw over 10,000 fans attend WWE's first and to date only all women's event. This was headlined by Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's title against Nikki Bella, whilst the SmackDown Women's Championship last woman standing match between Becky Lynch and challenger Charlotte Flair that received critical acclaim. That was a fucking incredible match. WWE, or many within WWE itself, called for the company to run a sequel to Evolution, with Bayley stating in 2024 it was the right time for Evolution 2. Earlier in 2019, Natalya stated Evolution 2 was right around the corner. Well, Natty, here we are 6 fucking years later, and it's that I don't know how long the street was. I don't know how long the street was, but it's not around the fucking corner. I'll tell you that. What do you think about Evolution 2, and how are you feeling about WWE running another one of these?
I think it's very likely at this point this year, and I'll tell you why. They added all these women's titles, and I'm gonna tell you now, with the prospect of Evolution and whatnot, those titles aren't gonna be defended on Mania, and their excuse for them not being defended on Mania is Evolution. We're not seeing those mid-card titles. We're probably not even gonna see those tag titles defended on Mania. But people are gonna be mad and whatnot, and WWE is gonna say, "Oh, well, you can't be mad that they're on Mania because they're getting their own pay-per-view for them to be defended on and whatnot." I think it's likely to happen, and I basically see it as our big shows are probably not going to have a lot of these women's titles that we made up for no reason, so we're just going to put it on the all-women's show and shut everybody up all at once. I think it's going to happen, and I think that's one of their main reasons to why is, they made all these women's, they got the mid-card women's titles now. They got 2 world champions. They got a tag. I'm sure NXT women will be involved in this show. It's kind of their one be-all of, okay, we don't have the space or care to put half of these women on our actual pay-per-views, so we'll just give them their own and it'll make them happy. I think it's happening, and I think that's overall why. But what about you, man? Do you see this happening?
Whoa. Off, off the dome, I have to ask while you're chopping it up. What would you put on this show just off the dome right now if you were to come up with things that could possibly be in place within the next 3 months?
Yeah, obvious. The first one's kind of obvious. If it's not happening at Mania, which at this point I don't think it is, Lyra, Becky, easy,
And that shit
easy
need to
one
be
to
on
put on
Mania
there.
though. Well, like, what are you waiting to bring Becky Lynch back for?
They're just gonna skip Mania, I guess, for Becky Lynch okay.
All right.
Um, for certain things, I really don't think we'll be able to tell until after Mania with who's champ and whatnot because yeah, I mean, we were just talking about it back on Monday. I don't really fucking know who can win that triple threat.
Mm.
That's, just a rumor for WrestleMania,
Yeah.
but I really don't know who could fucking win that triple threat. And depending on who wins that triple threat, that Mania match or that Evolution match, I mean, for that title can be a whole lot of different things. And even same for the other women's title. I think there's a small chance that Tiffany might retain. So if she does, I think the match could definitely be different from if Charlotte's champ. So with the whole like women's world champion situation, I really don't fucking know. Um, the lower card might be easier. That I mean, they could just build someone up and have them face Chelsea. It could be Piper. It could be someone else that they might care about. I don't fucking know, but I'm not too sure how it could build up for me. At least at this point, that's really a question for me till after Mania when we know a lot of like who's what champ and whatnot after
Yeah.
Mania. But what about you, man?
Um. As for Evolution 2, obviously, hypothetically, would it be a good time to do the show? Yeah, I mean, you do have a lot of great women in WWE. You obviously have a stacked NXT Women's Division. You could get a bunch of great names on
Hmm.
there, and that could be a great showcase for a lot of names because you do have your Julias, your Stephanie Vackers, your Jordan Graces, but you also have some of those sleeper people that not a lot of people talk about in NXT, but they're great as well in their own right. The Jada Parkers,
Ruka.
Lola Vice, some my two favorite right now, at least obviously other than like Stephanie Vacker. I would say Vacker is probably my favorite down there in NXT right now. But my other two faves, man, are Zarya and Sol Ruka. I think they make a really cool
Hmm.
tag team, and Sol Ruka is really insanely fucking good and insanely
Yeah.
athletic. And I think that could be a great showcase, like I said, for not just the Julia's Vackers and Jordan Graces, but Zarya, Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, Lola Vice. So there's a lot of good people down there, man. There's a lot of good people down there. But like you were mentioning with leaving Lyra and Becky off of Mania, it almost makes me think if you end up doing Bailey and Roxanne Perez, why didn't you just put the US title on Bailey and have
Yeah.
Roxanne challenge her for the title at WrestleMania? I mean, what is Chelsea even doing with the title anyway? And I mean, Chelsea deserved it, sure, but like they're not. What are you doing with
And
her?
she's just there losing for some reason. You know what I mean?
Lyra's
Like,
fucking taking pins on Monday Night Raw. Like, dude, these are your champions, bro. You're supposed to you're supposed to be positioning these people at least somewhat legit in the women's division. But um, as to what you could put on this show, again, it doesn't seem like they're gonna bring Becky back unless they bring her back during the European tour. Um, Becky
but
and even if they do Becky and Lyra at Mania, you could end the feud at that show.
yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
you could do that. You could do your Bailey and Roxanne match at that show. You could do Tiffany versus somebody, Jade and Bianca. May um I would say Rhea and Bianca, but there's no way WWE wastes that match at any show but a WrestleMania. Um
Yeah,
maybe that
they
maybe that's
hmm
where we get Bianca and Jade and then Rhea and
I could see
Io
that.
in a
I could
singles.
definitely see some variation of that, 100%.
Or maybe that's the show where we get the end of the feud with Naomi and Jade. I don't really know if you could make it
Drag it
last that
out.
long, but I don't
Maybe that's
know.
where we get the triple threat between Bianca, Jade, and Naomi or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But as for the show, I do like it. I think it would be, I think it would be a fun show.
It
I think it
fits.
would be something,
Yeah.
something along the lines of what they do with those Saturday night main events. Just kind of a
Yeah.
fun show to do. As the first Evolution, from what I remember, the show was all right. Obviously, I remember the main event sucked. I remember it was Ronda Rousey and Nikki
Yeah.
Bella. But I do remember Becky and Charlotte absolutely tearing it up. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
that's that. But, uh, But yeah, man, I mean, nonetheless, I think they could definitely do another one and get away with it. They have, and a lot of people talk about that NXT women's division, man. Don't forget how many great women you have on the WWE main roster, bro.
Mhm.
Rhea, Bianca, um, Io Sky, Bailey, now Roxanne Perez, Piper Niven is a sleeper. Um,
Mhm.
that nobody talks about for how great she is, but I mean that Becky, Lyra, Ivy Niles, even not too bad in her own right. She's not great, but she has a lot of potential.
Mhm.
Chelsea
Yeah.
Green, and they got a lot of great women up there too, man. So um you can't forget that, and Naomi as well. So um I definitely think they could do it, and I definitely think they could put on a decent show, being that with all those three women's rosters merged into one show, man, they could definitely put it. You can't tell me they can't have a great show, but
That could be a
um
really good show.
not to mention too, well, you have like Asuka coming back
Mhm.
soon, or another big name I forgot to mention, Liv Morgan. Liv
Oh
Morgan's
yeah.
another name that adds to the stacked list, or Alexa Bliss, or whatever the case is, man. It is just they got a lot of names. They got a lot of names, and they could definitely pull it off if they wanted to. So yeah.
Mhm.
So, speaking of another show that WWE will be running shortly here in a couple months, uh, according to WrestleVotes on the Backstage Pass, Tampa, Florida has been confirmed to host the next WWE Saturday Night's Main Event show on Saturday, May 24th at the Amalie Arena. Tampa will host WWE/NXT Battleground on May 25th, which will end up going head to head with Double or Nothing. With the rumors that WWE Raw on May 26th will also take place in the city as well. Damn. So that means that, are they going to run a Saturday? Because I thought we had another Saturday night's main event
Pretty soon, right?
a week later to combat All In.
Hmm. Unless
That is
they move
hilarious,
this.
dude.
That's they really don't like
Oh,
AEW, bro.
they ain't moving that All In Texas Saturday night's main event for shit.
Oh
I
hell
could tell
no.
you that right now, bro. They they will take any chance they can get to put a show on AEW's weekends and out.
Fuck
I
yeah.
guarantee they Logan's talking about Dynasty. I guarantee you
We're waiting
Dyna
for the dynasty.
I guarantee you they're waiting for Backlash to oh wait, no. Dynasty has already been
Dynasty
announced.
already
Oh wait,
announced.
no.
I forgot.
Dynasty should be
Isn't
around
that?
Mania time, actually.
I was gonna say. I think it's
And
pretty close.
I
Hmm.
think it's like beginning of April. Yeah, Logan, never mind. I don't know what I was going to tell you just there. I don't fucking know why they haven't announced Backlash. It's
Uh,
actually quite a mind-boggling decision. I was originally thinking like, oh, maybe they're going to do it towards Dynasty, but I forgot Dynasty's before Mania. So never mind on that. Um I would have
Wait.
thought Backlash would have. I'm assuming now Backlash is going to be. I mean, Backlash is normally towards the beginning of May. Maybe they'll do middle of May,
I could see that.
and they'll put a lot of things that don't make the Backlash card on Saturday night's main event. I'm assuming.
Like they very. Oh, dude, I forgot AEW done. You just reminded me. AEW done. The Mania isn't the next fucking pay per view after Revolution we cover. We
Fuck!
got.
Fuck! I forgot about Dynasty. Oh, what a vibe killer that is.
Like, we got
Shit.
two. We got two AEW pay per views between now and WrestleMania. Come on,
Fuck, man.
man. Fuck. I don't want to fart, man.
You don't want to fuck. you know.
We can talk about
Oh,
AEW. I want to think about WrestleMania, bro. God damn it.
I
I
forgot
forgot
about,
about
man.
that.
God damn it.
Unfortunate.
Well,
Fucking
anyways,
AEW.
they're
We'll just get
going.
slaughtered night one and call it a day.
WWE is going at AEW here with a doubleheader. They're going at AEW with Saturday night's main event, and the same day, at the same time, they'll be running Battleground, NXT Battleground. So Tony Khan better up his game, or else he is going to get shown out by NXT
Again.
again.
Which
Usually, yeah, usually this is a Wednesday occurrence whenever they're on the same night. Let's not make this a Sunday occurrence, Tony, please.
I would be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either.
It is
However,
double or nothing. Also, it's one of their bigger ones.
that is true. That is true, man. I'm sure it'll be a better show overall. Let's just hope they have hype going into the show.
Most definitely, I hope so.
Yeah, which is kind of stupid though, man, because they're doing Double or Nothing, and then 2 weeks later they have their WrestleMania, if you will, in Texas. So
That's so stupid, dude.
yeah, and it looks like Forbidden Door is going to be taking place in the normal All in London spot. So
Holy fuck, there, dude.
I mean, it is one way to space out All In and All Out, but I just wish Forbidden Door would go away, and I wish it wasn't so close to Double or Nothing.
Yeah, especially with
let's move it away from All Out, and so there's a bigger gap, but then let's make it 2 weeks after Double or Nothing. What the fuck? Put it at the end of June, early July. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, makes no fucking sense with AEW. God damn it. Can't believe we have 2 of these fucking pay-per-views before WrestleMania. God, it just killed the whole mood, man. Come on.
I don't know. Or wait.
Damn it.
Is All In June 12th or July 12th? I think it's July, right?
I think July.
Oh, so never mind. They got about a month. Aren't they close to something else, though?
Forbidden...
Oh, wait, no, because Forbidden Door is being moved. All right, never mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. Excuse me. I'm talking in a fucking circle, bro. I don't fucking know what these goddamn pay-per-view schedules anymore.
They had to add a bunch of random fucking bullshit pay-per-views. What the fuck is a dynasty, bro? What the fuck?
This just got me all fucked up. Never mind. Forget everything I just said over the past 5 minutes. Okay. Tampa is holding Saturday night's main event as they are going head to head with Double or Nothing with NXT Battleground. So it's going to be interesting to see. Man. And I am very interested to see what Tony Khan musters up if he knows that WWE is the hair standing on the back of his neck, which, if history has showed us anything, probably nothing. However, speaking of history showing us nothing, the Wyatt Six, they have been off television. Because of an injury that has happened to Bo Dallas. But according to PWN, they are reporting that Bo Dallas has been cleared to return to in-ring action.
I mean, too bad they're gonna slap a stupid fucking mask and hairdo on him and fucking push him out there. But it's good that he's cleared and everything. But I'm gonna sing it forever at this point. The mask is a ceiling. Take off the mask for the whole group. Please, for the love of God.
They're going to keep telling us we're crazy until the group fizzles out. And then everybody's going to say the same thing that we've been saying since they debuted. That's
exactly. Every time.
Well, as soon as the group fizzles out, everybody's going to jump onto the train. Well, he needed to take the mask off and maybe he would have been a little more relatable and blah, 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 blah. It would have humanized him more and all this other shit. Everything we've been saying. Now we're the idiots that, don't understand, and it was, Bray's vision and all this stuff. I've heard it all. At the end of the day, I want to see the group succeed. Uncle Howdy is never going to be any sort of champion. I'm sorry.
No, never. I'm sorry. Bo Dallas can easily be a world champion, but Uncle Howdy will never be a champion, period. That's just how it goes.
At the very most, WWE is going to reward them with tag belts, maybe.
I was going to say, I could see them slapping a tag title on them, but That's not that's not a good thing per se in the confines of the current WWE system.
Yeah. Can WWE do an all tag team show?
That would be dope.
That would be
I
cool.
would love an all tag team show. I would watch that all day, dude. At least, man, imagine a prime NXT all tag team show.
Fuck.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop, man. But I would love it. That would be beautiful. God damn it. You got me thinking about that now. That would be so perfect.
I was just
In a
thinking
perfect
about it because
world.
we were talking about Evolution, the all women show. An all tag team show would be pretty cool.
That'd be so dope, dude.
Oh, moving over to the Hall of Fame here. Moving over to the Hall of Fame, according to WrestleVotes, there are plans to induct the natural disasters, earthquake and typhoon, into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little shocking, man. I thought for sure they would put demolition. I thought for
Yeah,
sure they would put demolition, especially with the the news that we just had. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and also on top of this, today, Cody Rhodes paid a surprise visit at the at DDP's house to Lex Luger, who is learning how to walk again, which I'm very happy for him. Actually,
I'm very happy for him.
he is learning how to walk again. He surprised Lex with a visit to inform him that he also is the next inductee into the class of 2025 Hall of Fame. And Lex Luger actually stood up to give Cody Rhodes a hug. So that is awesome. That is fucking awesome. And I'm super happy for Lex Luger. I'm super happy for him. And congratulations to the natural disasters. And congratulations to Lex Luger, man. I'm happy for him.
Truly, I'm happy. I deserve everything, and the Hall of Fame's looking real good, man.
Yeah,
It is. I hope they actually get like a setting and date down. Like that's actually very awesome. I really hope they get that down this year.
absolutely. Absolutely, man. So, I couldn't believe the natural disasters weren't in already.
I
That
would,
kind of shocked
yeah,
me. I
I would have just assumed they were already in it. I
thousand
assume just a lot of people are in it half the time.
1,000%. I actually think Earthquake might have been the one that they just did the Dark Side of the Ring on. I think.
Oh yeah, I think is that one of the new season
I think
episodes?
so. I think so.
I
We
think
got to
yeah,
get back to binging that, bro. I
we
think
do.
we
We
don't
definitely
gotta. We
do.
only got a couple more. We only got
I
a
think we
couple
got
more
two
episodes
left.
left. I think so, but
I think it's
we'll
two left for the current season.
we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah. So that's that. Moving over to some WWE 2K25.
God, that game, dude.
Well,
They did it again.
we got some news on their DLC packs for 2K25, man. Here is the official list of your 5 DLC packs for WWE 2K25. Starting off, we got a lot of interesting names in here. Starting off with the new Wave pack on which comes out in May. We have the Motor City Machine Guns, Shelly and Sabin, Julia Vacker, and a special celebrity guest yet to be announced. The next pack that comes out in June, we have the Dunk and Destruction Pass. This has the great fucking Khali, which is actually pretty cool. I can't even remember the last time he was in a game. Speaking of cool, we have Abyss. TNA's Abyss. Well, now WWE producer, but Abyss, and 3 NBA stars to be announced. Next, we have the Fearless pack, and this actually gets cool as well. New Jack.
Hey,
Jordan, bro, that's pretty sick, man. Jordan Grace, Penta, Bull Monaco, and a special celebrity guest to be announced. Next up, we got the September pack, the Attitude Era Superstars pack, D'Lo Brown, the New Age Outlaws, yes, Billy Gunn, as well as Road Dogg, are in the game. So Daddy Ass made his way
Yes,
back to a WWE game. Victoria and Mark Henry. And then in November, the final one, we have the Saturday night's main event pack. We have Jesse Ventura, Mr. Wonderful, Tito Santana, Junkyard Dog, and Sid Justice. So, if you guys do play the WWE video games, those are your DLC packs for the upcoming, or actually the game that's out now. If you ordered the 2 collectors or the deluxe edition, I believe you have the game now. Very cool names in here, bro. Abyss and Great Khali, New Jack, Billy Gunn are just the names that stood out to me as just being ridiculously cool that they got in the game. And yeah, man, that is pretty dope, man. That is pretty dope. I'm happy they were able to get some of those people in there. And then obviously there's the Givens, Motor City Machine Guns, Julia, Stephanie Vacker, Pentagon, Jordan Grace. Obviously those are all more just great names that I'm very glad made the game.
most definitely, man. Besides like the NBA and the celebrity ones, they actually picked some really cool people this year. Like you said, New Jack is a massive standout. They got Jesse Ventura.
Yep,
Abyss is super sick. That's super
dude.
sick. Great Khali is cool, and obviously like the new people we're excited for, like Jordan Grace, all those women. Just a bunch of cool ass named Penta. That entrance better go crazy in that game, I'm telling you. Um, but this is very exciting, dude. I'm glad. They picked a lot of cool people for the DLC this year. Too bad from what I'm hearing, the rest of the game doesn't sound that great. Um, but overall,
Who
it's
would have guessed?
2K. Who would have guessed? It's 2K. I'm very much not that surprised, man. But nonetheless, a lot of those elements do sound pretty exciting.
For sure, man, for sure. So that is the news on the 2K DLC packs. Moving on here to our last bit of WWE news before we jump over to the AEW stuff here. Jade Cargill. Yikes. This got
Man,
pretty sticky today, literally this morning, as a bunch of stuff regarding Jade Cargill came out, a bunch of stuff regarding her perception backstage, and it all started with this report by The Observer. And it says Jade Cargill and Shayna Baszler reportedly had a confrontation backstage over Cargill's conduct. According to reports, Cargill made her return to WWE at the Elimination Chamber on March 1st after being written off television with an undisclosed injury in late 2024. And per Meltzer of The Observer, prior to being written off TV, Cargill allegedly rubbed a number of the Raw women's locker room the wrong way, with Baszler allegedly wanting to fight Cargill until being calmed down by management. Wow.
wow,
What a
they stopped
concept.
the fight from happening. Holy shit! Never heard of that
Meltzer,
before.
never, certainly not. Meltzer suggests that the issues between the two arose whilst the two were in a tag program with one another in the summer of 2024, with half a dozen people confirming that the incident took place, although the specifics have not been made known. The report cites that an unnamed member of the WWE women's locker room suggests that tensions in the SmackDown locker room are reportedly worse than any in the Raw locker room. There have been frustrations in the women's locker room with creative, as well as these informations that we're just now finding out with Jade Cargill. So, where does this all stem from, man? So, we did get a report. That suggests some more insight into this whole situation. And let me pull it up here. Okay. So, It was claimed that Cargill took issue with something that unfolded, and the word around the locker room was that Cargill had said something to the effect that Baszler needed to learn how to work. We're told it stemmed from a match in Scotland where Cargill tapped out, and that was not the finish of the match. Upon returning to WWE, the situation got much of the locker room talking. The situation that got much of the locker room talking was Cargill's promo video. That she said she was demanding respect and being surrounded by wolves in the shape of women all around her. At least one talent in the women's locker room mentioned that it was taken personally by a number of talent as they kept the issue between her and Baszler quiet. Cargill's absence was also a subject of heat in the locker room. Talent had heard that Cargill asked for the holiday tour off, but was told that the tour was mandatory. Following that, she sustained an injury that several members of the roster doubted the validity of, which is why reports had emerged elsewhere that she wasn't injured. That makes a lot of sense because we did get a lot of conflicting reports. However, WWE higher-ups spoke to Fightful and said that she was injured and was actually willing to come back much earlier than she did. However, WWE wanted to make sure she was cleared by their team and she was able to get additional reps in at the Performance Center. So, apparently, Cargill was apologetic to Shayna Baszler. Fightful had reported that Cargill had made a comment that Shayna needed to learn how to work after their match in Scotland. But those close to Cargill say she was actually more disappointed in herself for how things played out and was apologetic backstage. The tensions reportedly started from when Cargill tapped out in what was not supposed to be the finish, leading to some frustrations between both sides. Though the situation had been kept quiet for months, Cargill's return promo before Elimination Chamber, where she said she was demanding respect, surrounded by wolves in the shape of women, surrounded her, rubbed some people the wrong way, and left some already open wounds. There has been a lot of tweets uncovered, too, from the likes of Chelsea Green. Chelsea was saying something along the lines of, imagine demanding respect by wolves, and I'm laying here like this, as she posted a picture of her laying with her dogs. Shayna Baszler then put out a tweet saying something about they said the problems were with the ropes, but Zoe hit 3 springboard spots no problem. Probably jabbing back at from what Jade Cargill said about her, saying that you can't work. And then that was I'm assuming that was Shayna's jab back.
Oh yeah, wasn't that match the one with like where she wasn't like I think I'm remembering something about that match now. Wasn't that the match where like Jade was like hitting like horrible rope spots or
Yes,
something?
that was that match. That was the Clash of the Castle match, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense now. I forgot about that shit in that match.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, that makes this a lot clearer.
So, apparently, Jade Cargill, and this goes on to... This also is interesting because they're saying tensions in the SmackDown locker room are worse, which does, whether anybody likes it or not, which definitely does feed the rumors that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill do not like each other. And Jade Cargill and Bianca almost, moving on to Rhea Ripley and Io Sky upon Jade Cargill's arrival. It's almost like they didn't want to work together. And maybe they will, and maybe I'll be completely wrong, but AEW PTSD is absolutely for sure, man. This man, this is an interesting one, man, because I'm sure there is a lot of professional jealousy from people because Jade Cargill is being so pushed, and she's not as good as a lot of these women are. She's not.
No, she's just not.
But she's being pushed as if she's Bianca Belair. But
Mm-hmm.
she's
She's
really
not.
no better than Lash Legend.
Really, I'd rather take Lash Legend, actually.
100%.
Pretty easily.
100%. So I'm sure there's a lot of professional jealousy there. I'm sure there's a lot of professional jealousy for sure. These women taking issue with a promo, um, I'm sure I'm honestly sure it's one of those things, and this is just me guessing. I'm sure it's one of those things where Jade put that out there as a promo, but it's a bit of reality. It's a bit of how she feels, being surrounded by wolves in the shape of women. Right? They all are gunning for her. They don't want to see her succeed. And like I said, I'm sure there is a little bit of professional jealousy there because like I said, WWE is pushing, at least they want to push and present Jade Cargill as if she's Bianca Belair. And with Jade rubbing people the wrong way, is that Jade being cocky? I don't know. But what I can say is Jade Cargill should not be in the spot that she's in.
Good.
In all
Mhm.
honesty, when you talk about the fact that Stephanie Vacker and Julia went to fucking NXT, if you don't think Jade Cargill, if Ricky Starks went to NXT, if you don't think they should have put Jade Cargill down in NXT to work with,
Mhm.
the people that were
Bangers.
down there at the time, the Roxannes, and obviously now Julia and Stephanie, and get even more and soak up even more PC time, I don't know what to tell you because she needs it. She absolutely needs it. So I'm sure there's a bit of professional jealousy there, man, for sure. But I'm sure a lot, and honestly, man, you know, I've never really been too much of a huge fan of Jade Cargill, man. I just think she's just very one dimensional. She does,
Mhm.
a couple different moves. She is a more jacked, less talented version of Bianca Belair. Plain and
Yeah.
simple. At least right now in her career, she is just not the level of star that they say she is. But but that's the thing is, I know that, Stephanie and Julia, they chose to go to NXT because they wanted to perfect.
Yeah.
I wish Jade Cargill would have wanted to perfect and took the liberty to say, hey, I want to go to NXT, because according to what Stephanie Vacker just told us, WWE left it up to her. You want to go to the main roster? You want to go to NXT? Well, I want to go to NXT. I need to brush up on my English. I want to become even better. I want to be more. I want to be perfect by the time I get to the main roster. Damn near perfect, right? I just wish Jade Cargill would have taken that liberty to say, hey, I think I need to go to NXT. I could see to a lot of those women, it probably looks like you're there just because you want the attention of being a main roster star.
Mhm. Exactly. It's a tough and it's a situation that sucks. Because if you see with the Sheena stuff, apparently Jade apologized and whatnot, and didn't want no beef, and I feel like a lot of it is of that where Jade doesn't want to like come off a certain way, but she kind of just is, and it is rubbing people the wrong way, and Jade's one of those people where I think the idea is better than the person themselves. The idea of Jade and what she should and could be is like crazy. But I just don't think she's there. I think she really could have benefited from NXT. You have people like Stephanie Vacker choosing to go down to NXT and improve and just perfect her craft, and which didn't really, which I really don't understand the Jade mentality is because she was dissing AEW for not helping her and training her and doing that to people, and then she doesn't take the training offerings that NXT offers. That's just that kind of just makes me I don't know. I mean, this whole situation is very confusing, and I feel like it'll be clearer over time. But from right now, I think it's a definite just cloudy situation that I think we'll know about in the future. But I think it's a matter of the company trying to prop someone up to where they aren't at that level, and obviously it's probably going to make some people around that roster feel some type of way. I mean, I'm sure Roman back in like 2017, then in that era had people that just, were kind of in a way, like you mentioned, like professionally jealous in a way of where you're like, okay, why is this person in this position and other people aren't? And I could definitely see people having that mentality, but it's a very cloudy situation. I think we'll know more over time, but it's just I don't know. I think it's a matter of the company trying to prop someone up to a level that they aren't at yet, and that person had the opportunity to, get taught to be that level. And I don't know if it was them or WWE that just went straight to the main roster, but I think her NXT, overstep was a big misstep at the end of the day.
Yeah, and like I said, man, like I said, I mean WWE's partially to blame for people, I guess,
Yeah.
taking issue with Jade Cargill because again, this woman comes in and you can't tell me differently, man. The only reason you propped her to
Oh,
that level is because she came from AEW. That's
oh,
she she
100%.
she, she was no she was not a highly touted, free agent, she was a name that was coming from AEW. She was honestly nobody to run home about other than the physique, the look. The look is great. The look is
Oh yeah.
fantastic, but the skill is not there yet. And again, they acted as if they just plucked when Jade Cargill came to WWE, WWE acted as if they just plucked timeless Tony Storm or fucking
Mhm.
Mariah May from Tony Khan's fingers. And they didn't. They didn't. They got Jade Cargill. And again, she's not all that. She's not really all
No.
that. She can be, but she's not
Mhm.
really all that. And two, again, is Jade a confident person that gets misunderstood for cocky?
I
Maybe.
could see that. Yeah.
Maybe. But going out there and saying Shayna Baszler doesn't know how to work, I can see why Shayna takes issue with that because first of all, who the fuck are you? You can't work. So don't tell me I can't fucking work because I did indies, I paid dues to get here. Coming from somebody like Jade Cargill, who's had in every company she's worked for the red carpet rolled out for her on a silver platter, don't give me that bullshit. Don't sit there and say I can't work when you just sat there and botched fucking 4 springboard moves in a match. I mean, come on, dude. Don't sit. I absolutely understand why Shayna Baszler would get upset with that, man. That's like Kyle Fletcher coming in and telling fucking John Cena, "Hey man, you gotta you
Next
gotta
level.
learn how to bump better." Are you fucking kidding me? Like what? Really?
Like, who the
Like
fuck are you, bro?
like I mean, and no disrespect to Kyle Fletcher, that's just my example, but again, you're seriously? And again, I'm not saying that Shayna Baszler is to the level of John Cena, but you get my point. I've been doing this for a lot longer than you have, and I'm a lot better than you are. Don't sit here, come in, and tell me I can't work when you can't work for shit.
Mhm. Most definitely. Exactly. It's
So,
definitely frustrating. I understand Shayna's frustration when it's so funny and ironic because the whole crux, I was talking to you about this right before we went on, but the whole crux of the Shayna and Ronda feud was that Shayna was like, "Hey Ronda, you came in here on a red carpet. I work for this. I put in the work. So to tell all people that they don't know how to work to Shayna is just crazy work to me. That's just the most ironic thing ever.
yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It is a situation where I think there's a lot. I think there. there's not really necessarily anybody in the wrong. I mean, other than Jade Cargill
Yeah.
telling Shayna she can't work, there's not really anybody in the wrong here. Honestly, if there's somebody to blame, it's WWE, it's Triple H. Because at
They
the end of
propped her up too much.
at the end of the day, you are overexposing somebody who is not good. What have we seen from Jade Cargill other than a jaded, a pump kick, and a forearm?
Mm-hmm.
I'm that plain and simple. So if there's anybody to blame here for all this commotion, because I guarantee you Jade wouldn't be rubbing people the wrong way if she went to NXT and showed that she was grinding. You know what I mean? And I'm sure she is working very hard, but in WWE, in the land of WWE, when you come in with that little of experience, I'm sure a lot of people in that locker room want to see you pay your dues through NXT. I'm sure they want to see you, learn how to work the WWE production, work actual classes every day, on a weekly basis in the Performance Center. I'm sure that means something to a lot of people, and I'm sure that's why Shayna Baszler never got any heat for being rubbing people the wrong way or being positioned in a high spot when she's not good. You know what I mean? It's because she took the time to get good. And yes, she did come in as an outsider, just like Jade Cargill did. She did come in as an outsider. One person paid their dues. One person had the red carpet rolled out for them. That's my opinion, man. That's my opinion. And again, I'm sure Jade worked very hard, but in the land of WWE, I'm sure a lot of those people in that locker room would have liked to see her take the steps to go through NXT and really know the WWE way of things. So,
almost definitely.
Yeah. So, it's almost like when Vince would pull green people from OVW, and the people would be, a little, they would be a little, kind of, who the fuck is this guy? Because he called you up from OVW. You're clearly green as fuck. You're not ready. But they called you up. I'm sure to those guys, they probably wanted to see more polished names come in. Then again, WWE in that era of the locker room was pretty toxic itself, but I don't know, man. That's just what I think. And again, if there's anybody to put most blame on, it's WWE and Triple H and anybody who was in charge of appointing Jade to the main roster when she's not ready caused a lot of commotion, and it caused a lot of unnecessary commotion in their locker room. But
100%.
Thankfully, at least what we could say in WWE's case is management stepped in and did not let any fights break out. Wow.
Look at that. They did the job of management. Don't let your employees fight.
Yes. Don't let the workers run the shop, man, or don't let the inmates run the asylum. So, that is all for the WWE news here today, as we got an official word from the official sponsor of what we do here at NHP, W Energy, man. W Energy is an energy drink loaded with vitamins and nootropics formulated for anyone who wants to improve focus without getting jitters. W Energy is a clean energy formula that is sugar-free, 0-calorie, free from fillers and artificial colorings, and 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving. You can get your W Energy products today with the link below and code NHP at checkout to save yourselves 10% on your next W Energy purchase. So as always, shout out to the good folks over there at W, the official sponsors of NHP.
Truly, always got to shout out W, whether you need to stay awake for work, workout, anything else. W will keep you awake, no jitters. It'll taste good all at the same time.
All right, man. Moving over to AEW. I guess this one still, in a way, pertains to WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, they finally did it.
He's out.
I never thought I would see the day, man, but the day is here. The article is finally here for us to read. Rey Fenix. Rey Fenix has officially been released from All Elite Wrestling, man. Rey Fenix may not spend time criticizing AEW after all, following his release from the promotion. It emerged on March 3rd that Rey Fenix had been released by All Elite Wrestling after weeks of negotiations over his exit. He is expected to join WWE imminently. WWE are already making plans for Phoenix as of last week, and Fightful Select has reported that Fanatics have been preparing merchandise for the Luchador. Wow.
Look at that. Contract tampering.
Yeah.
I'm hearing from the AEW fans. They should get sued, apparently.
Yeah. Phoenix was set to be under contract with All Elite Wrestling well into 2025 after AEW added close to a year of time onto his deal. Around September of 2024, AEW added injury time to both Rey Fenix and his brother Penta's contracts after the company had reportedly discovered they were in talks with WWE while still under AEW contract. Penta exited AEW in December when his deal expired, and after injury time was added, Phoenix publicly expressed unhappiness, tweeting about inhumane treatment and a photo of himself in a straitjacket. Fightful noted there were actually AEW were actually considering releasing Rey Fenix in November of 2024, but his comments complicated things, and he remained under contract into 2025. Fightful noted, while AEW didn't address Phoenix's allegations publicly, they denied them privately. People within AEW also expect Phoenix would have likely had will have likely have had to agree to a non-disparagement clause as a part of his AEW release. When Phoenix will debut in WWE is unknown, but it is indicated he could work WrestleMania 41. How are you feeling about Rey Fenix being released, man? And how are you feeling about there possibly being some non-disparagement agreement in his clause?
Really, I wouldn't be shocked about a non-disparagement agreement. I'm sure that was his way out, is to sign that to Tony Khan. As long as you don't shit talk the company, he doesn't care for the most part. So I think that's the big part. I think that's really what got him out, is he was willing to sign that and everything. And I think it's a good decision by both sides. I think it's a good decision for Tony to just up and release him. He didn't want to work there. He wanted to move on. And if you want people to ever come back, you let people go and you let them want to come back. Now, will AEW build itself as a place to want to come back to? Probably not. But if they did play their cards right, they could always do that. And I think it's good for for Phoenix. He obviously wanted out. His brother's already on the other company, WWE. So I think it was very obvious he wanted to, join his brother and make a career out of himself over there, man. So I think it's good for both sides, and I'm glad. I'm really glad and shocked, but very glad that this happened. Very happy. But what about you, man?
Definitely, I am stoked. I am stoked for Rey Fenix, man. I'm stoked for Rey Fenix. It's been a long time coming. He's finally out. Thank God he did not have to sit till September, and he was let go in March, 6 months before. This man would have been sitting at home for another 6 months. Crazy to think. And with that too, Fightful also provided more insight, stating that Rey Fenix is expected to get WWE medicals done very soon. Merchandise for Rey has already been brainstormed, and that if he hasn't already signed, it is coming soon, barring unforeseen circumstances. And it is being speculated he could start with WWE as soon as they come back from the European tour. So early April, which obviously honestly, I'd probably just save him till an after Mania debut.
Yeah.
There's no point in debuting him 3 weeks before WrestleMania. Just say, which Raw and SmackDown after Mania are looking pretty fucking good. I can't lie to you guys there. Malachi back.
Phoenix.
Rey
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Very exciting.
Becky Lynch, a bunch of Asuka, a bunch of people.
Call-ups.
Yeah,
Either, more than likely, either Julia or Stephanie.
or
One of those two
either
will
Oba
probably.
or Trick, which I would
Mm-hmm.
think Trick,
I would think
maybe
more
both.
likely Trick, maybe both. I have no clue, but very interesting with people coming in and people coming up, dude. It's looking very fun.
Imagine Ricky Starks wins the NXT Championship Double or Nothing weekend. I don't know
I
why
would.
I just thought of that, but I
I wouldn't
just
be
thinking
shocked
about
at all.
NXT. That God, that
That's
that is
hilarious.
fucking
That would be
either
beautiful.
Double or Nothing weekend, or they save it for maybe they do another one All In weekend.
I wouldn't be
LOL.
shocked. That'd be very hilarious.
So, yes, Ray Phoenix looks to be coming in, man. And yeah, honestly, bro, I would probably save him for a post Raw after Mania or a post SmackDown after Mania debut. Oh, speaking of genius speaking of not tweets, speaking of genius journalism, did you see the news on Malachi back?
Let me guess. He's going to SmackDown.
That's exactly what they fucking reported. He's
No way.
going to SmackDown where his fucking wife works.
And they
Nice.
have a system where they pair married couples. They have to be married couples on the same show. And he's married to Vega. Wonder where he would have went,
No,
man.
no idea, dude.
Hmm.
No
I'm sure
idea.
someone got to put everything behind a paywall, man. That's just crazy. They
Crazy
call
work.
us the scammers.
Yeah, literally. We're just creating good
Just talk.
conversation and just talking
We're just
talking
stupid
wrestling.
assholes.
Hey,
Yep.
we're the clickbaiters or whatever. Um, crazy work, bro. Crazy work. But regardless, I'm happy for Ray Phoenix, man. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy he did not have to fucking sit until September. So I'm stoked for him there. But as far as his debut, I would probably save him till April 21st, that Raw after WrestleMania. If you are gonna put him on Raw, I'm assuming you do some singles stuff with Penta at Mania, and then have Phoenix, come in after, maybe the night after. Maybe Penta's getting jumped by the New Day, and Ray
I could
Phoenix
see
comes
something
out to
like
help
that.
him. So I could see something like that. So I'm
Most
happy for him.
definitely.
I'm happy for him, man, and I am just so glad he got the fuck out of there, man.
Thank God. Good for him, man.
Did you
Good for
hear?
him.
Did you hear the reason why Tony Khan has been releasing people?
I, I can't predict what Tony Khan says at this point. What is the reason?
He says Tony Khan
Okay.
says that the right now was the right time.
Right now was the right time. Royal Rumble happened, Chamber happened. Might be a little too close to Mania. Perfect time. I wonder what he meant by that.
Yeah. He said he takes every case. He takes everything case by case, and
He's a detective.
he said now is the right time. I genuinely think, which I said as a joke when I came on here and when he released Ricky Starks and Miro, I said, man, I think Tony Khan woke up on the right side of the fucking bed today and was just like, yeah, fuck it. Just let him
Let
go.
him
Let him
go.
go. Let him go. Let him do what he wants.
Let him go.
From the sounds of that, he actually, I don't know how a company runs like this. He actually may have just legitimately woken up one day
Just
and was
woke up
just
and be
like,
like, okay.
all right, I guess I've done enough harm to his mental health. Let's just go ahead and release him. I very well no, but all bets are fucking off now, dude. That genuinely could have been the case.
I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest.
Well, speaking of another person's AEW status, yikes. Camille.
Oof.
Yeah. Ooh. This one, dude. So, Camille has not been seen in AEW since quitting as Mercedes Monet's heavy in November. During an interview with WrestleZone, promoting her appearance in Queen of the Ring, Camille, though through co-star Damaris Lewis, refused to comment on her AEW status. Her co-star or publicist, whatever, says, "My client has chosen not to comment on the matter at hand, but we are open to more questions." Lewis said playfully, assuming the role of Camille's agent, while Camille remains silent. Camille has only wrestled for AEW on 6 occasions since joining with the promotion full-time, with her last match coming in October of 2024, which was a single loss to Chris Statlander on the Friday night special of Dynamite. Since then, Camille, not Friday night, Fright Night Dynamite. Since then, Camille has wrestled 1 match, taking part in the 30 wrestler Square Go for ICW in Glasgow, Scotland in February of 2025. It is also worth noting AEW ran a promotion for Queen of the Ring, and they mentioned stars that were in the movie, such as Toni Storm, and there was a couple other AEW women in there. No mention
Yeah,
of Camille.
I
What
mean,
the fuck?
that was probably the most worst mistreated run I've ever seen from anybody ever.
Yeah.
What was that, dude? They built her up as a heater, did nothing but lose, fucking made her look bad every week, dude. It was horrible, genuinely deplorable. Um, and from the looks of it, I'm sure she don't want to fucking be there anymore, and I do not blame her, man. At the end of the day, only it shows NXT. But I wish the best. I have a feeling we won't see much of her in AEW ever again. So I wish at some point, she get out of her contract, go to NXT, do something, man. But I do wish the best for her, man. But that's just one of the worst cases, man. Really has been. But what do you think about all this?
It absolutely is, bro. It absolutely is, man. And Camille not even being mentioned for one of AEW superstars in Queen of the Ring, a movie that is coming up. You would think they would want to plaster as many AEW people as possible. Her not even being mentioned as one of their talents that are in there, pretty much says to me that we've probably seen the writing on the wall for Camille in AEW. I think she's done, and I don't know what happened, but whenever she sits down with Chris Van Vliet, that's going to get very interesting, because
Hmm.
what the fuck happened? Because I assume her and Mercedes were friends, or they at least
Yeah.
they like each other, because they always posted like pictures of them hanging out with each other. So I don't think it was a problem there. I don't know if Tony didn't like her. I'm assuming that's what it had to have been.
I'm
Um,
assuming.
but I don't know what happened, but like you said, man, that has got to be the most mistreated, or I'm gonna throw another word in there. This has to be one of the strangest AEW runs we have ever
Mhm.
seen, just based off of just
Just treatment.
the
It's
treatment of
absurd.
her, and it's just so fucking random. Like, why
Mm.
Camille of all people do you treat like an
Like a
absolute
bad.
jobber?
I don't understand, dude. Genuinely, I don't understand.
I don't know what the fuck she did, and hopefully she finds her way out, because she could be another great fit in a TNA,
Makes
in an
mm,
NWA, in
yeah.
a um the I don't know, NXT. um
So I know, Ben.
we really should be saying that to the dudes, bro,
But
because
dude,
holy,
because
how are y'all passing this up, man? I don't get it. I don't get it,
Aaron
bro.
Garcia, that's got to
Oh.
be one of the worst career decisions I've ever seen somebody make.
Oh my god. What do you mean, man?
Bro, talk.
He's feuding with the infantry. He's
Exactly.
yeah, come on,
He's
bro.
feuding with the fucking infantry. He's a TNT champion that we don't see. Crazy work.
He's a TNT champion. The only problem there is nobody watches AEW on TNT anymore. People care about AEW on fucking TBS on Wednesdays. Well, from one woman in the division to another, Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter has been off AEW television. And a report, according to a report from Fightful, where they said that they were going to reveal an update on Jamie Hayter. Jamie quote tweeted it. She quote tweeted the report of Fightful saying that they had an update on Jamie Hayter coming behind their paywall soon. Jamie Hayter quote tweets this and takes the money right out of Fightful's pocket. She says, "I'll save you all the cash and concern. Just getting a new visa. No big deal. No issues. Cheers." Jamie Hayter wrote. Fucking hilarious.
I wonder if they're gonna have, if it's just gonna upset the business so much, they're gonna get Fightful's gonna get sent flowers and chocolate by AEW, like what happened with Triple H, quote unquote. I'll never forget that shit.
Shawn Michaels sent him chocolates.
You lying motherfucker. Triple H called and apologized. Bro, who are y'all, bro?
No, he didn't.
You're not the Yakuza. Bro, what do you think this is?
Like, bro, they're acting like Triple H stepped on the fucking Italian mob's toes or some shit.
Bro, they
They're acting like he's fucking with Tony Soprano or some shit. Like, what?
they
Come
swing
on.
themselves like they're the mob, bro. Like y'all are a bunch of fucking clickbait or journalists, quote unquote. Like, oh, it's insane. But Jamie Hayter having visa issues, very, very common, in the business. Like, it always happens, and hope it gets resolved soon. By the looks of her tweet, it looks to everything's right on track. So I'm sure it'll all be fine very soon. Now her booking isn't fine, but that's a Monday discussion usually.
Yeah. AEW has the writing right on the fucking wall because they're about to end this feud with Mariah May and Toni Storm. And I think you could do a match that a lot of people wanted to see for a very long time. So you've been asking for ever since Jamie came back. It was a fucking match with Toni Storm. So hopefully, being that Toni Storm is the one that originally took the title off of her many, many years, 2023, 2 years ago. Yeah, but Jamie Hayter with the probably one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen, man. It's very funny when they take out the so-called journalists that sometimes they do a good job, but other times they sit around on Twitter arguing with fans and other dirt sheets. That is not something that maybe that's just me and the way I perceive like social media, but I could never be one of these people that just got a tweet. I got to put on a new tweet. I got to fucking argue with this journalist. That is just,
I couldn't mentally take that type of shit. I don't know how people do it.
I don't know how people do it either, man. That is just those people are very out of touch with reality. I mean, you look at some some journalist Twitter, dude, and they are on fucking Twitter tweeting every 2 minutes the whole day. Like
the whole dude, literally, like says the number of tweets an account has, it'll literally be like 15K, 20K, 35K. I'm like, bro, what?
God.
How do you do that, bro? How do you do that? I don't understand.
Now, see, I did. Now, see that's very funny, Bell. I did not know Camille apparently did not want to go to NXT.
Remember that? I was telling you about that. It was Camille who was the one who rejected NXT because she thought she was like better than NXT. I remember during that whole like every week we would shit on it. I would mention it.
That must have been a minute ago. Then again, this shit run probably made me forget about that. Bell says it's the ones that are mad that you're tweeting about something else that get me.
Oh, dude, every time. Every time. Oh, you like you like the John Cena heel turn, you're just a fed mark and you hate AEW.
Yep.
Like, dude,
Yep.
I didn't bring up AEW
I
at all.
funniest thing too. I remember All Out 2024. I praised the show. That was my favorite
Mhm.
AEW show out of the whole entire year. That was my favorite AEW show. I remember getting comments saying that we love AEW and we love shit mediocrity programming. Fast forward a couple months and we're fed marks, and you can't just be a wrestling fan. So you have to be
No,
tribalistic to wrestling fans.
you
It's so
have to be.
and just I just social media
I
is
hate
just
it. It's just
it is just
disgusting.
so out of it is people that hang out on social media all day are just so out of touch with reality. I mean, you are
I
on
hate
your
it
phone arguing with somebody that you don't know, and you guys are
about
trying to argue about opinions and who's a good person and who's you like I always love like the tweets where somebody will like tweet something positive about WWE and they'll be like, so
oh,
so you support trafficking? Like what the who the fuck? What who who the hell said anything about that? Like what or
I don't. Oh, you like PlayStation? Oh, you fucking hate Xbox, you asshole. Like, dude, bro, what? Dude,
yes.
anytime you tweet about anything or say anything on social media or anything, you hate the other thing related to that. You just hate it.
It's one of the
Yeah.
it is one of the most ridiculous things. Like we always constantly joke like if it's like me, Logan and Sir K or some of our other friends and they'll say like something about
Oh, like,
yeah, like you'll say something about like, oh, I like this on Dynamite, and I'll just make the joke to you like, oh, so you hate WWE? Because it's all
fucking
you can do is make fun of it because it's just so fucking ridiculous. Like what?
every time, dude. You can't like anything
I'll
or
never.
dislike.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I put out a tweet about disliking FTR's theme song, and I was
Oh man,
accused of loving Def Rebel.
like what?
How,
There's
what? Like, where? Who
you
the?
just love Death Route. Like,
You
dude,
must just
no.
love those generic WWE songs. Like,
Huh?
where did you get that from? All right, it is
That's
what it
social
is.
media, dude.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. Very, very, very out of touch with reality. People, so a lot of people on social media are in the wrestling space, man. Just go make some wrestling friends, bro. Just go make some wrestling friends.
Real life ones,
That's
please.
yes, fucking please, dude. You'll be 10 times happier, man. However,
Literally.
speaking of more AEW news, according to the Wrestling Observer, Abaddon and Nick Camarado are two AEW contracts that AEW is reportedly planning to let expire. Now, there is another name, and I'm trying to see who reported it. I'm not sure if it was the Observer or not. Okay, this one is from PW Insider. They state that Zach Knight, Soraya's brother, is no longer with AEW. The word making rounds amongst several spoken to is that Knight's deal with the company expired recently.
Mm.
Well, three names gone from AEW, man. Zach Knight, I never knew him. I'm not familiar. I've never seen one of his matches.
Never. I think he was a rampage guy. That goes to show where he was on the totem pole.
Nick Camarado, not too familiar with any
Haven't
of his work.
heard
I've
the name.
seen him before. I know he was in like the Factory. Not familiar with much of his work. Even though I'm sure I've probably watched some of it. And Abaddon is somebody who fell to AEW's lack of putting production value into anybody. With a little bit of
Mhm.
production value, do you know how awesome and marketable she could have been?
It could have been really fucking cool, dude. And they dropped the ball, and that's someone who could really benefit from a better, more And now, when I say theatrical, I don't mean you slap a mask on them and that's their fucking ceiling. But someone that does know how to fucking turn off the lights for an entrance and actually put some production value in their show. But overall, I'm glad AEW is doing this, and something you always need to do, dude. If you don't need someone, either let them go or let that contract go up and you don't re-sign them. You don't have to re-sign anybody. You're not
Yeah.
obligated to employ people. You're a company. If you feel like someone's fit or someone isn't fit, that's up to you. And I'm glad that they're doing this. And this really needs to really snowball, and they really got to keep this train going, man, because it's only going to benefit.
Yes, and whoever is getting into Tony Khan's ear, I will say, and I gotta give Tony props. I can respect some of the recent stuff he has been doing in terms of just releasing people, letting contracts expire. You can't keep
Hmm.
everybody. Do not keep
Nope.
people hostage. You do not want the reputation of AEW to be a place where people cannot come to work because they're going to get, they're going to get, held and injury time, and they're going to just be left miserable and just left because Tony Khan just wants you there. And you don't want that reputation, man. You don't want that reputation at all. And now again, I definitely can't respect the how they're going about the whole Camille situation and stuff like that, but I'm at least happy things like this are getting through to him, where he's, you know, letting people's contracts expire and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, it's, in some ways it's a step in the right direction. A lot of times when they take steps in the right direction, they take 13 steps backwards. They do something else
Mhm.
stupid on Dynamite, but or something stupid creatively. But yeah. So I'm glad he's doing it nonetheless. But let's just hope Tony can keep knocking down AEW's problems one by one.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Now, speaking of Tony Khan, we got news on Tony Khan, and we brought to you guys many, many weeks ago that Tony Khan was more in the weeds with his creative. Well, we actually have an
Mhm.
update on that story, and this is per Tony Khan himself on the Revolution media call. He talked about how some of the reports about the production meeting are false, and AEW's one of their main priorities in the company is communication. All right. Well, we're off
Mhm.
to a good start. He also confirmed that AEW pay-per-views are still coming to Max. He says Max is still going to be a great home to AEW pay-per-view. It's not a technology that has been a part of Max's service previously. Before AEW landed this great platform, we're very excited to have TV streaming on Max every week. I can't wait to see what we have for the upcoming pay-per-views there in the future. Doesn't Max have a live BR Sports, and that
Yeah,
technology is not there? Uh, don't they stream Dynamite every week?
they 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 stream Dynamite every week, and they assimilated BR Live, the thing you used to go live to for your pay-per-views. I think I'm almost positive you could buy a UFC pay-per-view and watch it live on Max with BR Live. It's like, what what are you doing over here, man?
Did this motherfucker just cite technology?
Technology, dude. Technology.
Huh?
Technology isn't.
And
Yeah, Tony Khan.
and if there is a problem with technology, I'm pretty sure it's not taking all these months to add an option where you have to pay to watch
Yeah.
an event on the what the What?
That's some complicated ass technology, man. If one streaming platform has it, I'm pretty sure any other can get it. It's not like you fucking gatekeep technology. Like it doesn't really work like that. If someone else does a thing, somebody else can probably do that same thing and not far behind. It's not that difficult.
It's not a technology that's been serviced previously on Max.
Tony, he's gonna lie.
This fucking guy, dude. So he stated all this, and then he went on to talk a little bit about the creative process in AEW. So Tony Khan was asked what he attributes he asked what he attributes the improvements in Dynamite and Collision to on the pre-revolution media call.
I don't know if there's any of that.
Which, okay, let me just say, the shows have been better than they were in the very beginning of the year, but let's not call that an improvement. Okay, let's call that from failing the test with a 33% F to a 55% F. Okay, you're still failing the test. Well, anyways, he goes on to say, I think 5 years ago, around the same time on the path to the original revolution, I made a lot of New Year's resolutions to myself. And I felt like the television in January and February and March 5 years ago, around the time of the original revolution, was better and some of the best television we ever did. Every week, we delivered a great show. We never took the foot off the gas pedal. I think there are many elements that make a wrestling show great, and I made a promise to myself 5 years ago, around New Year's, going into 2020, that at the end of 19, that we were going to deliver great shows every week. And really, the big thing I told myself, that is no secret, I told myself, if I don't like something and somebody pitches me an idea, I'm not going to be nice anymore. This is why your roster is scared to talk to you about anything. I'm just going to tell them, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. And I have pushed back on a lot of stuff in the recent months where a large percentage of what you're seeing is being handwritten by me. That
explains everything.
That is the exact same thing I did. That is the exact same things I did for 5 years, and it really, really worked damn well. And I realized that this is probably what I should be doing going into Revolution, because it really worked well for the first one. I never meant to look back, but you know, a lot of times you try things, you get into habits, and I really like working with people in AEW. Most of AEW is about collaboration, and that's really one of the things that makes AEW stand out. There are times where I have been too collaborative and just need to push back, and I think in the past couple of months and 5 years ago at the same time, you saw that, and the product was the best that we've ever done, week in and week out. I think we've gotten I think we've gotten that kind of quality going again. And if you're not watching these shows, you wouldn't know. Maybe because you fucking drew half your fucking viewers away.
Still watch the show and I don't know.
Literally. He says, sometimes I see people who clearly haven't watched the show talk about what they think about it. And I think people who are watching the show week in and week out are very happy with the quality. Good Lord, this guy's so fucking tone deaf. Tony, the past couple months, you go on to say that you are handwriting everything yourself, but then you go on to say that you've just started doing it recently. You just contradicted yourself right in the... So you've been writing the shit the whole time, and you admitted that it was trash, but then tried to go back on it by saying you're writing everything now. You're shooting down ideas. I wonder what those ideas are. Now, I will say, is it good for a wrestling promoter to shoot down ideas and not care what people have to say? Sure, if the idea sucks.
Overall,
The only
yeah,
problem is this is Tony Khan, and
he's not good.
he's proven to not know what the fuck he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean that Dynamite so you wrote that segment with Thunder Rosa coming out there with the chair. You wrote that? You now again, I mean there's been things on Dynamite that have been good, but I
Okay.
think more so there's been a lot of things on Dynamite that have just been completely untalk worthy. Your
Oh
shows are
yeah.
boring, dude. You're writing a boring ass show. And again, is it better than it was in January, and February, where at least half of February, where the shows just absolutely sucked fucking balls? Yeah, but that's not to say you're really blowing anybody out of the water now. I mean, I watched Dynamite this week and minus Swerve and Hangman segments, what do you know? Minus their segments, the show was just
Boring.
boring. And again, it wasn't a
Mhm.
bad show. It wasn't that the show completely sucked. It's just you
Useless.
it's just you're writing in these 8-man tags, all-star tags, whatever the fuck you got going on. You're just writing shit nobody cares about. You are coasting your way on by.
Doing that's what happens when you praise him as much as you do, when you praise Mr. Pay-Per-View. That's all he's gonna care about. He's gonna stack a pay-per-view card that looks good on paper.
Yep.
The pay-per-view itself is gonna be usually good. That's all he cares about. The pay-per-view is perceived as good, and that night he gets all the praise that he looks for. He gets that validation, and he does the same thing. Fucking nothing television to what ends up being a good pay-per-view, and that's all he needs. That's all AEW will ever be now that he's got that groove in, and that's all it'll ever be. He's got his groove. He likes this. He's got his few like 1,000 fans that tweet at him that love the show that he fucking obsesses over, and that's all he needs. And he's got that validation. AEW is never gonna change.
It's not. It's
Mm-mm.
not, man. So, with that, according to Fightful, AEW talent have reportedly pitched ideas involving Kendrick Lamar. Yes, the rapper, not like us, to pimp a butterfly. Yes, the rapper, Kendrick Lamar, to counter Drake's appearance at Elimination Chamber. uh, Tony, if you wrote a compelling show, maybe a guy like Kendrick Lamar would just want to just pop out to the
Show
show.
up. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know if he's a fan of wrestling or not, but maybe he would just want to pop out to the show, see what's going on, get back into it, right? See what's going on, man. But obviously, I would love to see, just a shot of Kendrick sitting in the crowd or doing that's the thing too. I don't know why people in AEW were even pitching this because they didn't show Drake on TV. So it's not like he had some big appearance at Elimination Chamber. There was a brief shot where you could see him sitting behind the announcers, but they never even acknowledged, "Oh my god, Drake's in the crowd."
No, never acknowledged it.
So I mean, I would love for AEW to, just, I guess, show Kendrick in the crowd. But, I mean, if you're talking AEW, they have a lot bigger problems than, Kendrick being in the crowd. But if they did want to do something like that, it could be something to get eyes on the AEW product. The only thing is, the AEW product is nothing that's necessarily going to get anybody hooked right now, in my opinion. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be good. I mean, it could be just a cool, harmless cameo, but and it could get good eyes on AEW. But what good does that do if the Kendrick cameo goes away and you put some random ass tag team match on that nobody gives a fuck about next? So I don't know.
No, literally. Exactly, man. You have so much better things to focus on, and you're just, we get Kendrick because they had Drake. It's so cheap, dude.
It is. It absolutely is. And our last piece of news before we move on here to the predictions for onto the predictions for Revolution this Sunday. AEW has announced a broadcast partnership with Amazon Prime Video to broadcast their pay-per-views. This is coming from AEW directly. All AEW pay-per-views starting this weekend with AEW's Revolution will be available for purchase on Amazon Prime Video. As here is the press release they put out for the agreement with Amazon Prime Video. All Elite Wrestling and Prime Video announce new pay-per-view distribution agreement. AEW pay-per-views are set to be available for purchase on Prime Video for fans across the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. This begins Sunday, March 9th, with Revolution at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. March 5th, 2025, All Elite Wrestling and Prime Video today announced the multi-year agreement to offer AEW pay-per-view events to purchase to fans across the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Beginning with AEW's Revolution this Sunday at March 9th, live coverage begins at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, with the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. The deal represents a significant evolution in the distribution of AEW's content, making AEW's cutting-edge pay-per-view events more accessible than ever to fans through Prime Video. This includes AEW tentpole events, including Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, All In, Forbidden Door, All Out, Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, and World's End. We are thrilled to work with Amazon Prime Video. We are thrilled to work with Amazon Prime Video to bring all AEW pay-per-view events to their incredible service, marking a global milestone in the continued expansion of AEW's global reach, said AEW CEO, GM, and head of creative Tony Khan. AEW pay-per-view events are consistently the most exciting professional wrestling events in the wrestling world today, and the fans will also now be able to experience that firsthand through Prime Video, beginning with AEW Revolution this Sunday, March 9th. This is the official presser that they put out for AEW and their partnership with Amazon Prime Video, where this is not included. If you have Amazon Prime, this is nothing included with any of that. It's basically just your standard $50 you're still going to have to pay the same way you could do on Triller or YouTube or wherever else they distribute their pay-per-views. Nothing new here. Still got to pay the $50. If this would have came with your Amazon subscription, you get, a free, you get these included with that as a part of having Amazon Prime and Amazon Prime Video. That would have been pretty dope, but obviously, I figured AEW wouldn't have went that way anyway, and we were still just going to have to pay the $50. As I'm assuming we'll probably always have to do with AEW. So honestly, nothing much here. Just another platform. So yeah.
Exactly. It's nothing to ever actually be anything. It's just another platform to buy the pay-per-view on for whatever reason, man. At this point, that Max deal, we waited years for it, and it's here, and it's completely meaningless already. So there's that, man. But you buy them on Amazon Prime if you want to buy them there. Even though if you have a platform you buy it on, you're probably just gonna stick with that one. But there you go.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Well,
Hey, the show I can't wait for, man.
that is all the
Hear the
news.
excitement.
Yeah, right. That is all the news we have here today for you guys. And now, let's talk some Revolution. All right, man. The first match up to predict is a star-studded match. MXM Collection and John Morrison versus Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Big Boob AJ. I'm going to predict that AJ brings the boom on God, I fucking wish John Morrison was in WWE, bro. Uh,
He'd still probably be doing comedy. No one, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't
But
know. I probably would have had to step in. I probably would have emailed Triple H or something. I'd have got that fixed. But anyways,
maybe issue fixed.
But
God
Logan,
damn it, Logan.
that is actually not a crazy thing to say. That actually the sa- what you said is the more sane thing to say. Actually, I would
I
say.
think it is.
There's no Rizzler. Who cares, bro? Who cares?
Exactly.
If the Rizzler's not there, then what is the point? Okay.
Oh no, definitely.
He retired. His jersey is in the rafters, and he will never be forgotten. And hopefully, one day we will be talking about the wrestling return of the Rizzler, man. So, yeah, I'm assuming the baby face is here.
Oh, exactly. I'm sure the baby faces with the guest person is gonna win, man. So obviously the baby faces are gonna win.
For the tag team championships, the Outrunners versus the Hurt Syndicate. Good lord, they are feeding the Outrunners to the Hurt Business.
Just a one-off nothing match that Outrunners are probably gonna lose. The people that could potentially eventually take it from them are just a
Mhm.
nothing random nothing match on pay-per-view. So it's an obvious Hurt Syndicate win, and what a way to waste the Outrunners.
What a fucking way to waste them, dude. What a way to waste the Outrunners, man. Crazy ass work. Crazy fucking work here, man. I don't know, man. I really don't know, dude. How you killed that in the fashion you did is just crazy. But yeah, go in the Hurt Business.
Most definitely.
Mercedes Monet, as Excalibur says, versus Momo Watanabe.
Man, this is just a tough match to predict, man. It's anything goes, dude. 50-50 Cena, Cody level of just who can win this. Um, I think it's a pretty obvious Mercedes win, but I don't know. What do you think, man?
I don't know. I don't know who gives a Momo what the fuck about this match.
Hmm.
Um, uh, why is this on paper? Who the fuck cares to see Mercedes versus Momo Watanabe?
Uh,
I, I, then again,
man,
she has ran through everybody else on the roster, so I mean, I guess this
not
is
a
fucking
fan.
plausible. I guess I'll go. I guess I'll go with Mercedes Monet, man. It's a hard call, but I'm going the unpredictable route, man. I'm going Mercedes here.
Most definitely.
For the Continental Championship. All right, get your Q-tips out for this one, because you're not gonna believe this. For the Continental title, Kazuchika Okada defends against Brody King. What the fuck is that? Now, again,
Just,
the match on paper probably going to be great.
hmm
I-
it's
Oh,
who who cares, dude? Who fucking cares?
where is this coming from?
You bumped into him backstage.
Is that the story? No,
Yeah, yeah. Remember we were joking about. He bumped into him backstage, and then the match was made.
he did. Man, I don't remember that. He bumped into him.
Yeah. Yes, we were laughing about the segment.
He, all right.
And he bumped into him because Okada was doing an interview Brody King interrupted it by bumping into him, and now they have a match. That's the whole
Oh, my
story for a
memory's starting to come
pay-per-view.
back. Oh god.
There you
Oh god. Oh, well, could you fucking blame me, man? I mean, it's Okada and Brody King.
go. I don't know, man. It's obvious Okada win.
Yeah, this what the fuck? This is obvious Okada win. Loser King over here. Brody fucking peasant should be his name. Yeah. Certainly not a king, at least in AEW's booking. Swerve Strickland versus Ricochet for the #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. I'm actually really messing with this match, man. It's over the robe. They're selling the robe. I like it. It reminds me of what WWE, now obviously not to the prestige, but it's like what WWE did with the Ulafala or the bracelet,
Yeah.
right? It's selling the story on an object, and if you make it compelling enough, it can actually mean something. And Nana has done a lot of good work to sell to us that robe. So I like this. This all depends on the main event to me, man.
Yeah.
If Swerve wins, I could see Moxley keeping it. If Ricochet wins, I could see Copeland taking it. And I honestly see Copeland taking it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and say Ricochet.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Ricochet, man, and I also have a scared feeling that Nana is gonna leave Swerve, man. So very scared, but I think it's gonna be Ricochet.
The Hollywood ending. Toni Storm defends the championship against Mariah May. Man. Unfortunately, man, this feud is going to have to come to an end. I am scared for what comes after for both of them.
Oh yeah,
I think Toni Storm takes it.
I think so. I think it's definitely Tony Storm win, and like you said, very scared for both parties after the show.
Yeah. Normally I would be just scared for the loser, but honestly, bro, I don't know what Tony is going to come up with either of these women other than somebody completely fucking random for
Mhm.
both of them probably. But yeah, I'll go ahead and say Tony.
Most definitely.
MJF versus Adam Hangman Page. Well, I think it's safe to say this is the first of these matches, and I probably see MJF taking the first one.
I was gonna say I think MJF is gonna win, and in some dastardly dickhead way, and it's gonna continue the feud. I think MJF's gonna get the first victory.
Konosuke Takeshita, who has battled through a rigorous international championship series to get the right to face Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view and to get the right to defend his championship against Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view, defends against Kenny Omega. Uh, to be 100% honest with you, bro, I think Omega might take this.
I could definitely see it there. He's hyping up like that title and shit, and I've heard rumblings of an
Okay,
idea to
he's heard rumor.
combine the international and the continental title. I've heard rumblings that they might want to do that. And if you would look who's two champions at that point, Okada, Kenny, I really wouldn't be shocked. So I think it's a definite Kenny win.
Yeah, yeah, uh I could see. Yeah, I mean, I could see them merging them. Then again, Tony does love his belts. So we'll see.
We'll see
We'll
how
see.
it
He
goes.
might. Yeah, he does love for everybody. You got to keep in mind, man. He does love everybody on the fucking roster and their mother and their grandmother to have a championship. So we'll see. But yeah, go ahead and take Omega. The next match, the Aerial Assassin versus the Australian Skinhead. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage match. I think this one goes to Billy. I think this one
I think
goes
it
to
does.
I think this one goes to Billy
I think it's definitely an Osprey win.
for sure. And the main event, the marquee
Yeah.
match.
the least exciting match on the card. At least one of them.
This is such a shit main event. I will say, man. Man. This is such a shit main event. I can't even describe it enough to you guys, man. Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, Omega and Takeshita, Swerve and Ricky, Tony Storm and Mariah May, all this shit's on the pay-per-view, and this shit main events. Fuck. We have the big marquee match, Mox versus Cope.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna give it to Cope. I wouldn't be shocked. People want it, and I think it might be. I just see it happening.
Look, man, I know a lot of people wanting Cope to take this because the Death Riders,
They suck.
yeah, the Death Riders suck. Here's the thing. I get the Death Riders suck. I get it. They do suck.
Yeah.
This is far from Jon Moxley's idea anymore, in my opinion. They suck.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a shit how much it sucks. You've already invested so much time, 6-7 months, into this storyline with the Death Riders. At fucking least have it be for somebody worthwhile, like Adam Page, Darby Allin. Now I get Darby Allin's gone. Swerve Strickland, Will fucking Ospreay, who you've actually teased wanting to go after the Death Riders, but he hasn't been able to because he's fucking feuding with the Australian fucking skinhead and Don Callis for whatever, still, for some reason. Regardless, Jon Moxley, I don't care how much it sucks. You've invested so much time into it. At least end it for somebody other than the fucking 50-year-old man who refuses to put anybody over.
Yep. It's gonna be a reign of hell, and people aren't realizing that.
And don't say, well, Christian could just cash in on him. I love Christian. To put this amount of time into the Death Rider story, to have the next champion be Copeland or Christian, what the fuck is that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
What is that decision?
I get they suck. I get it. I agree with it.
They do. Yeah.
You've invested so much time into the Death Rider story. At least have Mox drop the championship to a youthful guy. A guy who's gonna be there, and a guy who can actually represent the symbol of AEW by saving AEW from Jon Moxley. But I think we're going to give it to Adam Copeland. I think they go Copeland. I think he wins. So
I think they do. Most definitely did.
Whether Switchblade turns, he made it abundantly clear that turn is coming by just randomly picking up the mic and saying, guys, I've had Copeland's back. Way to make that obvious. Way to make that fucking obvious. What the fuck? God, they're gonna give it to Copeland. They're gonna fucking blow up everything for Copeland. And again, I wouldn't even say blowing it up, but they're gonna give it to Copeland, dude.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yep. And that is everything for Revolution, man. As the pay-per-view is not on Saturday night. It's on Sunday, so you got. We will be on here in 2 days to talk about this pay-per-view here with you guys. And good lord, hopefully it turns out as a great show. I'm sure it's going to be a great show. I just wish there would be excitement going into it. But I'm nervous for that main event, dude. God. But with all that, man, that is going to do it for this edition of NHP. This has been episode 256 of the Notorious Hills podcast, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining us for another version of the news. Thank you to everybody who came out, man. Logan, Bell, Rainmaker, Lonnie. My bad, dude. I forgot to say what's up to Lonnie. What's up, Lonnie? He's probably he might still be here. Gotti, Fernando Hunter. Thank you guys so very much for joining us here today on this edition of the news. Thank you guys so very much, as always. And with that, it has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And I Sir K.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the Notorious Podcast. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys Sunday night with the AEW Revolution 2025 post-show review.
Peace.